might show up as well. He'll be in there. All right. Okay, and then yeah. So, anyways, Desran, we're live right now. We are live right now. Try closing and opening again or something. Otherwise, we'll have to use Google Teams. Okay, so otherwise, I'll call you on. We'll do a X space then. Okay, so we're live right now, and somehow it can't connect. So I'm gonna have to do an X space to see if that will work. Might work easier with him there. So and also, okay, we're live right now. And let me know. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay, audio's good. Okay, audio's good. We got Rumble in here, Sax laughing his A off. Yeah, that was and what else is in here? I'll just put on this and then we'll check the thing. Okay, so you send me a screenshot. 1 second. Yes, we have technical issues as per always BitChute there. So what is this thingy? Okay, I'm gonna close this. Alright, so that's that. And go to the Rumble and go to Desiren. Discord? Okay, Discord or... Okay, I'll do a new room then. Here, I'll just close this. Leave. Dismiss. Okay, one last time. Okay, 29,000 times. Thermite. Okay, new meeting. Or, we'll do new meeting. Meet now. We'll call this, Desran MH370 2.0, okay. This should be copy link, whatever. Okay, so there's a link. All right. I'll just say try this. Otherwise, do a Google space. Okay, so we're on this. Okay, hello, MES. What's up? Okay, what's up? Chat again. Roid Emotions in the house. Mary Kilbane. Are we staying on YouTube today? Yeah, you could say. There's no controversial stuff here. Try this. Otherwise, we can create a X space and do that live so other people can join in as well as so. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, you can stay here. And also, apparently, YouTube has a new community thingy. It shows you the ranks. So for who's ranked. Okay. Yeah. So we got a bunch of ranks there now. Apparently. I'm gonna move this to the side. Okay, yeah, so my guest having technical issues. He was Joe. No, Joe's gonna show up. He'll be a bit late. Joe said, "Give me a minute," so he'll be on. Desran was on the show. And then somehow he got kicked out of the Google Microsoft Teams. So so he has issues coming back on. I don't know what's going on. Where's the 2.0? Okay, so I sent that one. 1 second. We're just trying to figure out some stuff. He was literally on it, and then he got off it. Okay, and I'll send this one. Okay, yeah, Joe will be there. Okay, 9/11 revisionist, let's go. Yeah, 9/11, I saw your email about that symposium. Yeah, for August, September, I'll be there. And so on. And again, okay, so what else is... so I'm just waiting for Desran. He has some issues there. Otherwise, I'm going to create an X space. I've never done X space, so the question is, how do I create an X space? Okay, try a new room. Okay, so I sent him there. Anyways, having some issues. I'm gonna go and ask. I'm gonna tell him. Tell Joe, use this link instead. And I'm gonna delete this. Okay, use this link instead. I'm gonna delete this. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, yeah. So and then there's JK Philly fan. Okay, so yeah. So he's I think one of one of Ash's minions. All right, let's go. All right. So anyways, I don't know what's going on. It was literally we were talking and then all of a sudden his thing cut off and now he's gone. So I'm gonna create an X space. I've never created an X space before. How do I create one? X space. What do I do? Okay, so X space. You guys can join the call as well. Okay, so if it works well, we might even do that instead of the usual setup. So how do I do X space? Where's the space? How do I create an X space? Profile. Okay, so it's like, well, how do people create stuff? Okay, I'm live on X, but I don't know. I have no idea how to make an X space. Create an X space. MH370 landed in the AFB. Diego Garcia quoted whistleblower USMC Caps Field McConnell. Oh, really? But the guy from the Maldives. Oh, Chrysler's in the house. Let's go. Okay, Chrysler. Joe's gonna be in there. Joe's and the Desran guy was supposed to show up. Like he was on it, and then all of a sudden his team's cut off. So, anyways, there's me. I'm creating an X space. I don't know. Have no idea, dude. Okay, so how to create an X space? Open the app. It needs to be an app. Name your open the X app. Launch X mobile or Android device. It's only created via the mobile app, not the desktop. That's bananas. That's bananas. Absolute bananas. You can't just do it live. Okay, so guys, we have Crushly. Guys, we have a huge peeps in the show. Okay, and Joe's gonna show up. And again, Desren, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so he says Discord. I have no idea how to use Discord. Well, I have a Discord. Let's see how to create it. So how do I call in Discord? Like, what is going on here, guys? Okay, there's admit. Okay, we have Desi's in the show. Okay, Desi, you're back in, I think. Okay, there he goes. Hello, Desi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Your mic's muted.
Sorry about that, guys. That was a big, massive technical difficulty.
Okay, so Desran's in this show. Let's go. And yeah, it's going to be epic. We're going to discuss Joe. When Joe shows up, we'll discuss the Joe drama and so on. And anyways, yeah, so Desran, the engineer, and so on. Great to have you back on. I'll pin this.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll share my screen just so you know. Yeah, so I was trying to create an X space. Apparently, you need to create it on your phone only. So I'm like, what in the world's going on here? Yeah, that's like you have to create it or something. I don't know. That's what Grok is telling me. So I'm gonna.
No wonder Ashton Forbes expecting a $30 to $50 million redo of the XUI. It's that trash.
Oh wow, yeah, that's bananas. All right. Okay, yeah. So we have Crushly's in there. Apparently, there's a new YouTube community thing. You have no idea what this means, but so far, Rotary Matrix is top of the lead. And how do I hide this thing out of the way? Okay, so now we're good to go, and just for the audience, so can you guys hear Desi all right, or Desren? Is that your
Sorry,
Desren?
Instead of you.
Should we just call you Desi Desren, or is there another alias you wanna call?
Desu, I sometimes find it be easier for people, but just Des, if you know, Des would just make it just as easy.
Okay, so Des is good, and also for the audience, so you're an engineer and you want to remain anonymous though. Okay, is that?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, yes, it wants
to
prevent
any future impact of possible clearances, future job sites, etc.
And are you worried about Ashton Forbes getting his goons to call your employers?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's not even just that. It's more along the lines of any projects that I've ever been in, never need any Freedom Information Acts, like technically none of it is retrievable through that for the most part, but what they still get is what they get.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, epic stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna send this to the and also audience, you guys can. Everyone says audio is good. Yeah, so you guys can hear it. So I'm gonna send the link. This is a link to the links, guys, or links to the notes. It's on the Hive blockchain and so on. And I'm streaming on a whole bunch of stuff. But the only ones that could comments Rumble and YouTube. So I'll just message there. But anyways, St. David says never forget 9/11. Moonchild heard it here first. Let's go. Okay. Anyways, that's for insider stuff. Okay, and I think Joe is gonna join it as well soon. So I sent him the updated setup there, and Joe said, "Give me a minute, he'll show up, but he might be drunk and or high." So that's that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. All right, and I'm gonna read that so you can see my screen. Can you see that? Fine, Desi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna read out the beginning parts and then ask you to basically introduce yourself and so on and how we met. Well, how I met you. It was on that X space. So, anyways, guys, MES Livestream 92 engineer discusses impossible physics of MH370 teleportation cartoons. So, engineer Desran or Desi joins the show to go over the physics of the MH370 teleportation videos and explains that either physics as we know it was suspended for a few minutes or the videos are fake. So you guys can choose which one to believe over there. And also, I want to play the trailer. So if you guys haven't seen a trailer, so I made the thumbnails pretty epic. So butt physics, we got the MH370X logo. I made that with JetGPT. And there's the butthole portal, according to Ashton. And there is a real Boeing. I'm not sure if you've seen this one. Someone did measure the actual pixels. So the real Boeing was smaller than it's a real Boeing 64 meters wide if you're governing by the pixels, and then the actual one in the plane, the actual in the satellite video, or the Gorgon stare, whatever that means, was 42, and the speed was going half the stall speed. I'm not sure if you looked that up. That's something I wanted to double check with the pixels, but they do look like it checks out. So like the actual speed was going half the speed that the plane would have stalled in the air. And yeah. And I want to play the trailer quickly. Let's see the trailer. I don't know what. Okay, the trailer. Let's play the trailer. Stall speed. I'm not sure. Okay, I forgot to put the trailer. I'm gonna put the trailer right here. So here's the trailer I made right here. Why is it sending links there? Okay, the trailer I messed up there. I put the wrong link there because I used. Anyways, I need to update that. 1 second. I got the wrong trailer link. I accidentally used the old trailer link for my previous stream. I'm gonna open up this. Yeah. Okay. So we have some technical difficulties. I'm just gonna go trailers for live streams. I don't know. I hate when that happens. Because I used I used Grok AI to do that. To basically put the links.
If somebody was gonna.
Anyways, here's a trailer. Here's the actual trailer. I need to update that. I'll do it later. Anyways, here's a trailer. Here's Mr. Butt Physics Professor Ashton Forbes saying that you need a PhD in mathematics and physics to understand how this all made.
Fake an event, they would fake it as an explosion. Because if somebody was going to fake an event, they would fake it as an explosion. Because there's no basis to even think to create this. Somebody that would have to fake this is going to have to understand physics better than most PhDs out there. In order to create the pattern that we saw, they're going to have to understand math better than most PhD math experts as well. So this requires a huge amount of creativity if they were going to create this. There's no basis to copy this from. So what we see here is this endothermic event that's absorbing energy. We've speculated that this is potentially sucking the energy out of these lithium-ion batteries so that you can actually save this plane.
Let's see how he proves it's not stock footage.
So as a statement of fact, those do not match.
Dude, it is exact.
Thank you, Danny.
It's not though. You see that the black actually does not line up, right? You see how it's not the same on the the edges? All dispersal patterns look the same.
Did you know that? All dispersal patterns look the same?
Wait, all dispersion? No.
This is like saying that my butthole is your butthole because they're similar.
What? Okay. That's wild. To think, like, when you want to be taken seriously, that's what you go.
Somebody that would have to fake this is going to have to understand physics better than most PhDs out there. In order to create the pattern that we saw, they're going to have to understand math better than most PhD math experts as well. This is like saying that my butthole is your butthole because they're similar. This is like saying somebody that would have to fake this is going to have to understand physics better than most PhDs out there. This is like saying that my butthole is your butthole because they're similar. In order to create the pattern that we saw, they're going to have to understand math better than most PhD math. This is like saying that my butthole is your butthole because they're similar.
All right. Anyways, so I made that one. That was pretty epic. How do I get back?
Vous êtes très nombreux.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, so you guys hopefully like that one there, and I just got a message from Joe. So he says he's in. I don't see you. Okay, yeah, so
Tommy has to.
Yeah, go on.
Are you in?
I don't know where it's going. Okay. What did you say? Yours is like cutting off every like half second.
Is this better? Hold on.
Yeah, because
Let's.
yeah, so it's like cuts off. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I might have a question. Hold on. I've got.
Yeah. Chrysler says they all know it's fake, but it's like magicians. If you spill, you get shunned by the community. Yeah, definitely. It's literally a magician's trick, or apparently magician's actually like a it was based off Freemason, so it's a Freemasonic magic trick. So Stephen F says Bob believes the depiction of the science is accurate in the video, and even if it's fake, it reflects some form of remote viewing by the creators. Yeah, but again, I actually think Joe made him. So it's like, and Joe, well, Joe is high a lot, so he might have been remote viewing. Embers, yo, miss, does your beard tickle when you sleep? We were chatting about tickling beards earlier, and you look like a man who can contribute to the discussion. No, I don't. It doesn't tickle me. So, okay, he says, let me try again. So, guys, we're waiting for Joe, and also Desren, if you want to tell the audience, yeah, about yourself and how this all came about, and so and your background and so on.
So basically, I have met Matt here through an X-Space with Joe Lancaster the other day. whether or not you're in the drama of it or not, I mean, Joe is claiming to be the producer of the MH370 videos. So I came into that space to ask him questions in particular about both, because in 3D programs, when you usually use 3D programs, you still have to set an object size and height and stuff. So, you know, kind of based on that, you can kind of work on the math, use it a little bit, like if you were viewing this actual object. Because my background is in aerodynamics, aeronautics, propulsion systems, stuff like that. So what I'm kind of looking at when I'm looking at these videos is I'm looking at how the plane, so I'm looking at how that plane is interacting with that orb, and that's where I'm mostly focused in with Joe, is because I do know some stuff about VFX, and what I do know and stuff, like, even if he's using, like, models, programs, anything that would actually give us better, clear evidence, you know, like, if somebody hoaxed this video and they're saying that, then that would give us a really good, you know, to give us a stronger foundation for both even showing the math for what we should see, and then it would also give us foundation on the VFX side.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I got a 1 second sidetracked. Joe is saying, "Hey Joe, someone in the meeting should let you in soon." So I don't see any notification for Joe to get him in there. I don't see anything, unless he joined the other link. 1 second. But yeah, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, broke suddenly. It was weird.
Yeah, so I used to use a Skype, and then Skype shut down last month, and then they migrated everything to Teams, so it's annoying AF. So I'm gonna see that link again.
Not just Discord?
I've never used Discord. How do I? I'm gonna invite people to
Discord
join.
would be a fantastic, because you can create servers and stuff, and then, you know, your guests can even, like, you can have a server channels that specifically, like, guests can get into and stuff, and then you can have, like, waiting rooms. Like, it's a really good, like, I think Discord would be really good for you, personally.
Okay, well, the thing is, I want to get Joe in. Try this link.
You might have to download Teams. You might have to download Teams. That's what I had to do. That's why it took me so long to get back on.
Oh, really? Because it's like, there is a browser. You can open in browser. Like, you can literally open up browser without joining Teams. Like, I tested out on incognito all the time.
When I did that, it tried taking me to the Google Play. So what I did is I overrode that by telling it to treat it as a desktop site, and it let me in, and that's why we were in for the pre-room for so long. And then suddenly, when I was like opening up some of my other apps, it just threw me out, and it told me that
okay, because you're on your phone. Yeah, I never use the phone. I always use the desktop. Okay. Okay, so otherwise, because I want to get Joe in, because it's a hot topic issue in here. Also, 9/11 Revisionist says, do you you agree, Ashton, the 2025 Stephen E. Jones of electromagnetics, RF weapons, and magneto-electrogravitic nuclear reactions? I think Ashton's not that bright. Ashton's more of a, well, he's not as, okay, he's done.
Look, some videos of somebody having a ZPE device on YouTube where somebody was able to convince him that, you know, they had a secret partner and stuff. This is the same dude that's bought, you know, quote unquote classified files and stuff that had a key on it that he had to get other people to even crack after he acquired it and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, definitely, yeah. And he was a gamer before, yes, and he was also a Twitch gamer. Crushy says, sorry, Des, I'm going to have to dip on this one. Hope you guys have a great discussion with Joe, but I can't be here for that. Okay, no worries. Well, Joe's having trouble joining in, so I don't know what we could do with Joe. What I'll tell Joe is...
I'll definitely send you clips later, Crushy, so that way you can just see anything that you do miss.
Yeah, but so what I will ask Joe is... Can you create an... I'll tell him to create an X space, and we'll just join him there. Can you create an X space, and we can talk there? Yeah, just give me... Yeah,
because, I mean, it's being recorded either way across all of your things, as long as you're OBS, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm using Prism Live Studio. I was using OBS, and then one day, the weirdest thing happened. I think my, like, OBS got hacked or something. They started playing a random video in the background. I couldn't take it off, even if I, like, turn my computer off, uninstall OBS, and open it back up. Nothing. And it was just playing a random video in the back that I have no idea where it was. It's like a YouTube video. All right. So anyways, Crushy's gone. But anyways, I told him to create an X space. Yeah, but I don't want to ruin your thing here. It's not a big deal. Basically, we can talk there while I am live here. Yeah, no big deal.
Right, I'll just join it on that side and stuff, so that way I can hear him as well, and he can hear me. But I mean, before we jump into that and other stuff,
Yeah.
how many viewers do we have right now? Let's run a little, because I'm gonna give them something to do.
Okay, so we have 20 people on the YouTube, and then I don't know how much elsewhere.
All right, so to everybody that's listening right now, I've got a simple experiment for you, because I want you guys to kind of understand a little bit about aerodynamics. It's going to involve a fan in your house, and all you got to do is just get this fan, set it up, get a piece of paper, and keep your hand behind that piece of paper, and turn the fan on the highest setting, and put that piece of paper in front of the fan, and you'll see those paper edges bend. It'll push back against your hand. If you take your free hand and put it behind that piece of paper in that hand, you'll notice that you feel almost no airflow, but you still do. Like there's a little bit, but it's basically non-existent. Now, as you come out behind that paper up to a certain extent, you kind of feel it more and more, and you can tell where it's back at. Well, in that principle, with your hand, that's kind of your hand. Your second hand is the orb in that sense as you go through behind that plane. So you're going to see that pressure being created on the paper as you kind of take it in front of the fan at first. It's going to go kind of down, like that paper is going to curve down. And it's not the most accurate representation of the orb itself. We'll discuss a bit more about that. It's a bit more complicated. But this is giving you a good idea of what wind resistance looks like. And, you know, so everything that flies, moves, everything that has mass is going to create a resistance when it's moving through a fluid or another object, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what a major thing to understand is that this orb, as it's moving through the environment, even if it's creating this magical warp field and stuff, you know, and we're calling it magical because not because warp fields aren't real, but because this one is so magical that it's just flying through a trail of smoke without bending the smoke around it at all. If you are witnessing a warp field, first off, you're not going to just see warp fields cannot just actually let another object in without first letting that warp field down. And the reason is especially inside of an environment like the Earth's, to where we have free ions just kind of in our air, as well as oxygen, nitrogen, and other things. So the outside of a warp field is actually going to become extremely irradiated, and you're going to actually be seeing a bit of a light show when you're watching a warp field fly through an atmosphere like Earth's, because that magnetic field is producing to warp the space. Even with space warping around, the outside air is now static, right? Or not static, but the air at the outermost edge before the warp bubble itself is now being forced to kind of interact with all the air that's outside of the bubble still, but it's being forced to not be able to move. So you're dealing with that friction inside of the bubble still, and that's going to create like a lot of radiation in on that bubble and stuff. So we should be seeing a massive like a Joe.
Yeah, just yeah, no, definitely. I want to go over the videos and then have you discuss that too, because you made a great point. Nothing moves when the orbs are moving around. But also Joe, I think, is in the chat. You guys, Joe's in there. Guys, Joe is in the okay, and he's drinking a beer. I'll unpin Desi because you don't have a video there. Just so I'll pin him. I'll unpin myself. So we could pin, how do I pin this guy? Okay, only. Spotlight. Okay, spotlight for everybody. Spotlight. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so anyways, guys, Joe, can you speak, Joe? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. All right, Joe. Okay, guys, Joe is in the house, the man of the hour.
All right.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
It's about,
so he's
it's like 6:30 a.m. here. I've been drinking a bit, as you can see. Also dropped a tab of acid a few hours ago, so just a heads up.
All right, so this is.
I apologize. It's like all of my spaces with you guys, like I'm kind of fucking intoxicated, and I feel bad about it. One day I have to do a sober one.
yeah. I think you promised a sober one. You promised when you're gonna go make them.
I did, yeah.
So that one. And then also we had a lot of explaining to do with the Texters.com. Now Ashton Forbes is taking that screenshot and just like running away with it.
No, my bad.
Yeah.
Look, I tried to fuck with it too much.
Huh?
I flew too close to the sun. Okay, I tried to fuck with it a little bit too much.
Yeah, I understand, but like I was telling people I still believe I still believe you're the one who made it. It just seems like I just don't see any reason why. I think the whole thing's just a giant. But you made a good point though. It's just silly cartoons or silly videos. That this is the kind of attention it deserves.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if I'm not having fun with it, at least like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? Why am I sitting here replying to people on Twitter if I'm not at least trying to fuck with people on some level?
Yeah. No, you are right. But then, but now it got to a point where it's like nobody besides me wants to listen to you. So that's where if I think if you can send any other like emails from texters that you have, I'm not sure if you had any or anything.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Okay. But yeah, so we were so no worries, but yeah, so
But no, I was lying about the textures thing. Here's the thing, right? This is the real honest truth, right? I never got an email from textures. I just didn't get one. And the reason for that is I never bought the fucking assets from textures. Look, what a lot of us do in visual effects is we borrow things from people or steal them from whatever jobs we're doing. And if they're not like commercial jobs, right? If we're not like making money off of them, like for, in terms of like, they're not going towards advertising or anything that we're making any money off of. It doesn't really matter if we have like a library of assets that someone else downloaded like 14 years ago that we've just like copied onto our own hard drives and shit. So I don't know where the fuck I got them from before it was textures.com or whatever, but I didn't buy them from textures.com. And so I just sort of was trying to be a little extra cheeky by getting them to
but
to send me an email just to like, I don't know, man. I'm having fun over here. I'm sorry.
no, I understand, but Ashton Forbes feels like he gained some superpowers. This few days.
I know, but I heard he's also crashing out though on the timeline.
He is, but
I forgot he is.
yeah, Desi, you're saying something? You're like,
I was just saying, I'm praying to God that he's crashing out. I hope it's about us or something, but it never will be. To me, it's too narcissistic to pay attention. But at the same time, I hope he's crashing out over something.
Hey, he joined the live stream chat when me and Joe the first one, and then he literally joined to trash us. So that was a highlight. So he actually was watching.
He never said anything though, did he?
No, he did. He said that no one will believe. I'll read it out. He was saying no one believes this LARPer, liar, etc. And then he was making fun of. And then he's making fun of my channel. He's saying 50,000 subscribers, only like 30 people on the show. I'm like, he was.
Was that the first one where I went off at him? Like, and I
Yeah.
historic for like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, you went off. I could play the clip. Yeah, I'll play the clip right now. And then we can go back into the physics. I think once Joe is back.
It's entertained with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I'll open it up 1 second. This was chat, and then this is I need to put up on my Telegram. Just to, then I have a link to exactly where it was, and then we could play it. I'm gonna go. How do I search here? Search Ashton chat. So he absolutely roasted us. Yeah, so Ashton, I will open up this setup here. 1 second. Okay, open up. This was at the. I'll start sharing my screen. I'll share my screen so you guys can see it. Oh, Ashton.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Let me know if you guys can see it. And here, okay, this is when Joe showed up. This is at the 1 hour 19 minutes and 50 seconds mark. So you can see. We know that. And then he's
Ashton Forbes in the chat. Ashton Forbes is in the chat.
Okay, can you guys see that? Can you hear that too? Yeah, so Desi and Joe, can you guys hear that?
Hear.
Yeah, you'll see Joe went off. He started swearing at him. So Ashton says, why are you interviewing
I was so cooked. Look at me. Look at my eyes.
Yeah, you were like 15 minutes late to that stream as well. Okay, so
I was drunk as shit, bro. I'm sorry, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so you said, well, Ashton was saying, why are you interviewing a mentally ill liar, LARPer? This kid isn't even old enough to have made the videos. They're from 10 years ago.
Hi, Ashton.
Fucking loser up.
Ashton says, why are you interviewing a mentally ill liar LARPer? This kid isn't even old enough to have made the videos there from 10 years ago. Oh yeah, so 9/11 Business asked, how old are you, Joe? How old, if you don't mind? I'm guessing 32, 32, 39?
39, yeah.
Okay, yeah, nice. I'm 36, so we're around the same. All right, so Ashton's in the chat, guys. So Ashton's blocked both of us, but now he's on the chat.
Okay. And then Joe goes off on him.
To defend his own fucking dog shit ideas. He's just like, he's a sad little man who's happened to get on some fucking podcasts, grifting off of my fucking videos. These are fucking fake. Like, they're so fucking obviously fake. Like, what are you doing, you fucking, like, pathetic little shit? Like,
we gotta go.
Fuck you.
we got Joe going off. Ashton was on Candace Owens with like millions and millions of viewers, and then this live stream has 43 people, and he's on the stream.
I'm gonna get on fucking Candace Owens now. That's what I'm gonna do.
And then Ashton joined again.
All right, look, you take Candace Owens, I'll take the Hodge twins and shit. That'd be hilarious. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to get on the Hodge twins next and shit, because I'm gonna show everybody just how bad the math is, like just how wrong Ashton is, and just how fucked up the math is to like. Yeah. Everybody, all the conspiracy theorists are gonna feel a little stupid afterward.
Yeah, but I think the what's his name, the Hodge twins and all those guys, like I'm pretty sure like them, Ashton, they all know each other. They're all part of what I call a disinformation industrial complex, or DIC for short. Because it's there's no way he's getting on Candace Owens, and soon Hodge twins, and soon Joe Rogan.
No, he's not gonna get on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Joe Rogan already called him out, so that's a no-go. Well,
but they are kind of the same pipeline, right? So like that. Look, there is a bunch of creators. They typically lean right wing, that rely on a gullible audience. That's where he kind of thrives, I think. Like. When you just get to like like the Terrence Howard shit, right? Like he got up on fucking Joe Rogan even.
Yeah. That was pretty.
Talking shit about how like 0 doesn't exist and like 2 + 2 is 5 or some shit. I don't know, man. Like whatever. Just talking complete nonsense, but he like with a few buzzwords.
Terrence Howard? Wasn't that like Terrence Howard or some shit? Or...
Yeah. Terrence Howard was on Joe Rogan. Yeah, that was interesting. To say the least.
With a few buzzwords, you can sort of convince enough people that you sort of like have some like unseen or some hidden knowledge that they don't, type shit. And that's what Ashton relies on. He's gonna spout some buzzwords on whatever like dumbass fucking Candace Owens, Tim Pool or whatever podcast that he ends up going on. It doesn't mean anything. None of the words mean anything. He doesn't know what the words even fucking mean himself. Right? He knows that he's just full of shit, but he just like will say them, and he'll get responses like this. That's really interesting. Why isn't the government talking about this? You know what I'm saying? Like this is how fucking easy it is. You know what it is? I think I'm going to rebirth myself as an actual grifter, right? Like I'm gonna just start doing the same shit that Ashton does, like because it doesn't take many brain cells. Apparently, you can get fucking 10,000 people a month, like giving you fucking like fuck payment, like just because like you don't understand what the fuck is happening in the universe, right? And you think someone that bought like a $50 like Temu goddamn like perpetual motion machine that doesn't work, that runs on, and you forgot to load the fucking batteries on it, and then you have to eventually come out and say, no, I guess turns out I did not invent perpetual motion and shit, but it doesn't matter because I got all these fucking clowns that fucking subscribe to me and shit, and now I'll just go and fucking Tim Pool. Hey, Tim Pool, how are you doing? Hey, Candace Owens, how are you fucking doing? You fucking idiots. Like, what is it? What is happening here? What is happening with the world right now in the year of 2025, our Christ? Right. What is exactly happening?
Like, I think you should reinvent yourself as a comedian, Joe.
my next
Hey,
brick.
can you change your note? Okay.
What did you say?
I was gonna say nothing. I was unmuting as I was actually about to talk to my wife about something. But I was gonna say that's actually pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that was.
I was just thinking to Joe Moneycaster or some shit.
Moneycaster.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
Moneycaster.
instead of Moneycaster.
I don't know.
Oh,
Ring to it.
Moneycaster. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because like Forbes, the 4 orbs, like it's literally his name, like literally matches the MH370. His name's probably not even real.
Yeah, I just forgot what they do. It's like 4 orbs.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah, but anyways, so we want to try to get on some sort of topic here, and what's interesting is, so again, like a lot of people, yeah, when Joe, when you kind of go off on this, like they want quote evidence to see that you're the guy who made it, but like to me, you roasting him like this kind of like, I don't know, somehow it just reinforces that you actually made the videos. to me, it's like evidence.
You see my passion. I
Yeah.
don't have the hard evidence. Like I've been telling people this for 16 months now, right? Since the first time I learned that my dumb videos were being shared around the internet in stupid conspiratorial like UFO type communities. I told people I was like, I don't think I have the original project files. I'll go check. And over the preceding months, I did check. And I don't have them. I don't know what you want from me. I don't have them. But what I will guarantee you, though, I will guarantee you here personally, you will never find someone else credible that will come forward with any fucking project files because they don't exist. They just don't exist because I made them.
Yeah.
Okay? And I just didn't keep them.
Yeah,
And they're important enough to keep.
No, definitely, and actually, yesterday, because when I was making notes for the stream, actually, I asked Grok AI to do like the deep search on you and see what I could find up on you, and it found up one of your VFX reels from 2012, and so if I go right here, you can see my screen. So I basically I asked Grok, and it dug up a whole bunch of info on you, and then I found the one of your, so it has your IMDb page and so on, and it sent a link to a 2012 VFX highlight reel you made, and it was interesting. It includes orbs and a guy that looks like Ashton Forbes in it. So that was like some synchronicity.
Hold on.
So this is yours?
Actually, he's clairvoyant.
Okay, so that was up.
This is 2012. Yeah, this is 2012. Chop.
It was uploaded in 2012. That was my visual effects reel from 2009.
Oh, okay.
But I guess I might have updated it in 2010 or something like that. I remember when I was doing some freelancing for that particular company, Chop Shop Post, great company, they're in Brisbane in Australia. You should use them. You should look them up. Making a fantastic film at the moment, starring Vanilla Ice, no less.
Vanilla Ice. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's a fantastic project. It's called Zombie Plane. Yeah, there's a production currently happening at that facility called Zombie Plane, and it's in the final stages of post-production at the moment. And it's fun, right? It's deliberately a B-grade thing. Anyway, I digress.
Okay.
So I was doing a lot of freelancing for them. And at some point, they wanted to put out a visual effects show reel. They didn't really have anyone in-house at the time that did visual effects. I said, listen, you can use mine that I had, assembled over the last 8 years or whatever. Add a couple of things in, and that's what they uploaded there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I was going to play it, actually, because in there, you actually include orbs. And there's a guy that looks like Ashton Forbes in there, and you see the comments.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So again, guys, just to illustrate again, just to Joe's background. So I didn't even know this until yesterday. So this is his VFX. This was uploaded in 2012, 2 years before the MH370. So Joe's literally a professional VFX guy, and but he says he made it in 2009. Yeah, which would check out. But if you look at the comments here, the comments are pretty funny. This guy says the guy playing ping pong in the video.
the jobs that you're referring to, I'm saying this is my VFX showreel as of
Yeah, as of 2009. Yeah.
2009. So I think the one you're talking about with the orbs, like the Fireflies video, the Fireflies video was I want to say 2007 maybe 2007. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Fireflies.
That's what you're saying. It's old as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. What was it?
But hey, I was gonna say, can I point out before we play it that
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
wanting to kind of say to Joe, because I was gonna say, because we were getting, I haven't got to like pay attention to Twitter today and shit. But what I was gonna tell you, since we get to talk in person now, is that like even so, like I told Matthew here, even if you somehow didn't create it and shit, what this shows is that any actual fucking person with VFX knowledge and capacity and capability could come up and say, hey, I did make this, and the fact that it would be indistinguishable from one to the other, and we wouldn't be able to argue because this person would have just enough knowledge and the other person would have just like the fact that there is, it's like a what's it called, you know, because like nobody actually has the
Yeah.
because if
I know
without
what
the
you're
original
saying.
files,
I'm
like
kind
yeah.
of-
Yeah.
I'm kind of highlighting how silly it is by doing that also. Like otherwise, like if I'd have heard that these were just like some videos of mine that were being shared around the UFO community, I would have just been sort of fascinated for a bit. I would have laughed with my friends about it. But I decided to kind of like fuck with it a little bit, right? Because I was like, wait, how serious are they about like my stupid video? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how like what I first started to do was I tried to actually just, without even saying it was me, I tried to actually give people hints. I was like, here you go. Oh, look at that though. Look at that particular frame. Isn't that interesting? Like that that one matches this one and shit. So I started doing that for a little while. And I think I eventually made like a Reddit post that said that, hey, I might do a recreation of these because I made the originals, but also I might also be lying about the recreation. So I did that for a while, back and forth. I told some people I made them. I told some people I didn't make them. I think at some point Jonah started getting harassed, and that made me sort of go, oh, no, come on, guys. It was me. It's me. My bad. But by that stage, I'd already fucked it because I'd already given enough people enough reason to doubt me, so they wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's just like, well, at this point, I'll just fucking run with it, and I'll just have fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. I saw the messages today actually when I woke up. People were tagging me. So you send the messages. You literally said early on saying what you're gonna say. Some of it's real, some of it's fake, and like nobody believe anything that you read, etc. But so again, yeah, you were pretty much trolling everybody. And
Actually, Joe, that is the thing. So is the contrail, is that an edited in thing, or is that like? So did you use an actual contrail from a real video, or like where did you grab that? Like, did you make that yourself in the video?
All right, you're gonna have to clarify. First of all, which video are you talking about?
So in the MH370 videos, and that's what I was kind of trying to originally ask the other day in the space. So since it's just,
but he's saying which video? Which video though? The thermal or the satellite?
In both the thermal and the drone video, the contrail, it looks more wispy and shit in the drone video, so people say that it's more of the fire, and that's why they think it's a fire. But inside of the fucking thermal, it would have to be a contrail because it's actually got a heat signature and shit and stuff, which a contrail would, because it's a form of exhaust in that sense. You know, they have it's cold. It should be colder and shit and other stuff. It's not really like, when I say heat signature, it's not like really producing a heavy heat and stuff. It's just the ambient heat, the engines themselves from where it's been expelled.
Yeah.
Let me just give you a quick breakdown. If you're looking at the thermal video, what people are calling the thermal video, which by the way is comically unrealistic.
Yeah, I know. I've said the same thing the entire time. I hate having to use that term. I'm doing it for colloquial
I know,
sense because,
but-
you know, yeah, like we
Let's
said
just
the
say
other
we're
day.
talking
But,
about
yeah.
the thermal video from the drone, right? The first like, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds of it are a different
Yeah, what's that following the plane?
process.
What is following the plane besides the orbs? What is that? A smoke or is that a contrail? What is it?
Well, he
Yeah,
added
that's-
the contrails don't line up; they're out of sync. That's one thing. Whatever it is,
Well, hang
yeah.
on,
Right.
Before
Yeah,
we
before
get there,
yeah.
because the first like 5 to 10 seconds of the clip actually does have some generated contrails, which was in a tutorial I was learning at the time that I had. I was still fucking with like these jet strike assets, right?
Yeah.
That was just a tutorial about how to do that in 3D without looking too fake. But it quickly like zooms past that. You'll see, like you'll notice at a point where it sort of shakes weirdly, and obviously like if you're like I don't know how fucking like military drone optics work, but I'm sure they don't look exactly like a handy cam from the 1990s zooming in and shaking around. You know what I'm saying? I'm 100% certain they don't look like that. Right? So at some point it transitions into that panning shot, which actually is based on a real shot of a real plane that I had painted out, and there is actual contrails from a real plane there, and I believe if you stabilize it, because I think someone did.
Yeah,
I think someone.
I'm sharing the screen right now. You can see the stabilization. You can see the
there you go.
contrails move up and down.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, exactly. So the reason for that is there is an actual plane that has been painted out there in the foreground, which was doing contrail. It was just being replaced with the shitty 737 model or whatever it was, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
There's a slight error in the tracking, and
Okay.
yeah, and so there's certain techniques you can use for motion tracking, and like, look, it gets really complicated, but for situations like this, I would just like put a couple of boxes over the original plane and just do a point track or a really rough planar track if I was using like Mocha or something like that. But there are ways to then correct for jitter and stuff, and so whatever I was using at the time, I just didn't correct for anything. And it was just, inaccurate track. It's just classic inaccurate tracking.
Okay, yeah. I just want to. I have the video right now. So those were real contrails initially, or real footage, and then, or when do you transition to a real? Because I have it right there. This is 6 seconds in, and then
there's already real footage from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. So
Right.
and then
Yeah.
and now this is a fake plane that you put on
When you
top.
say generated, what did you mean? That's what I was gonna say. When you say generated, what did you mean originally? So like, what generated off of? Like, did you just like?
No, because he said his
people
brother.
think-
I think the last time you said your
plane
brother
and the
took the footage.
contrail
Yeah.
are generated.
The contrails were generated.
Okay, sorry.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. The contrails were generated.
For that first little swoop through,
Yeah.
the contrails are generated.
Oh, okay. So you generated these ones at this point. Yeah. So it looks like that swirl there. Okay. And then this part here. So you generated these.
So here,
Yeah. Okay. Right there. Yeah.
comes through, yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's generated.
That's the
So-
only shit that's generated, and you'll notice as it zooms in, see how it kind of changes and the level of shake changes
Yeah.
and shit. I'm
Yeah.
trying to like blend
Yeah.
between two different, and see
Oh,
there.
and then you blended
where it
between
kinda
two
goes
footage.
Out of frame.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you-
I was gonna say.
So when you got out of frame, that was on
That's
purpose.
kind of the opposite.
Hold on, roll it back a little.
Yeah. So you got out of
Roll it
frame on
back a little.
purpose. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that just happens to be a good point to
Yeah,
cut.
yeah, to
right?
cut, and then
Because
you cut
you've got all
again.
this noise going, so you can't really tell where the cut is because you've got like grain that's applied over
I've
the
noticed
top
a
of
lot
it.
of it.
And see
I
how
was gonna
that's
say, I
sort of a
noticed a lot of
clearly
your
different
quote-unquote-
shot now.
Like, I've
what-
noticed. I didn't mean to say quote, but like I've noticed a lot of the cuts occur like when the plane is kind of like as the plane's leaving the frame, and stuff, that's when like you'll notice certain like things and stuff. It's like because you're not having to deal with the plane and frame, so like you're doing certain like, you know what I mean? Like I've noticed that you tend to like as that plane hits that left side of the frame, if you'll notice, that's like when you'll see certain like grains of like as if you're looking at masks and stuff, like you're looking at a mask on like. But yeah, it feels like just you'll see it here in just a second. Now for some part, like it's usually when as he's less of the object, like right in there and shit. But right as he's tracking and shit, like right there, like you can see like you see like because it's not focusing on it and shit, and then it's like coming back in and shit. Like you can see like the mask is really grained, like that when it's against that and stuff because of what you're trying to do with the quote unquote thermal, like what that thermal mask is doing. Is like it's such an obvious like it's like I'm looking at one of the old CRT TVs, dude. Yeah. It's like, oh my god.
Okay.
But like I hope you can all see the difference between where the
right there. Hold on. No. Don't move your frame. Don't move your frames. Don't move your frame. Don't move.
Okay.
Now, kind of look at the back of the plane. So you see that motion blurring and shit too. Like that's not thermal right there and shit. Like that's,
okay, so this is not thermal stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so like look at the back of that plane. Do you see that green and how it's like blurred off, kind of looks like it's just smudged and shit? And then look at the tip of the wing, like what there's like first off and shit, we need to understand that like that does not occur on thermal. Second off, we need to understand what the fuck thermal is then, because oh my god. And then third off, like that's that's why I've said you did a very good job to someone that wasn't paying attention. And these are the things that I kind of want to do that I did pay attention to. Is like you're like the thermal mask and shit, like it's blurring and shit. Thermal doesn't work like that. That's not how heat like works and shit. Now, if it was a liquid dissipating or certain other things dissipating into the atmosphere, or like if the plane, see, this is an aluminum plane, and aluminum isn't going to dissipate heat into the atmosphere necessarily like that because it's already dissipating it off. So so aluminum's already ultra cold and shit. This entire plane shouldn't even be green.
That's a good point. That's another thing I realized. You can ask Rock. I'm gonna ask, what's the temperature of a plane going at, let's say, cruising altitude?
So it's flying in negative 40-degree temperatures typically.
Yeah.
So and that's at 30,000 feet. Now you got to remember, the higher you go, it gets colder and colder, but then you start to hit the troposphere to where you actually get hotter and hotter, and that's why anything that's coming back into the atmosphere has to have that shielding because it's going through an actual patch of
No, you're right.
Fucking...
So between negative 40 degrees and negative 60. Yeah, so that's
negative 60.
Yeah, so negative 40, negative 60. And the question is, what temperature would this green be indicating on a regular thermal?
Yeah, green is typically, so when you're looking at green and stuff, you can see green on people and stuff. That's you're looking at a 60 degrees, typically 80 degrees maybe, and stuff. But, you know, so look at that blue. That blue is the atmosphere. Or like if that blue is supposed to be clouds and like just the general vapor of the like air around it and stuff, like that's another thing is like so the blue and black, like basically black is cold, like as cold as you can get, but that blue is like damn near like as fucking freezing as you can get. And it's not freezing, but it's colder. And if it was so the air around, so the engine should be producing the heat for the jet plane, but the rest of the plane isn't really producing, because that aluminum, I think it's going to be more than a few inches thick if you're flying in a fucking plane, because you need it to be able to withstand the pressure outside and inside, because as you know, you have to pressurize your cabin. So that aluminum is
correct me if I'm wrong though, with thermal cameras, like they're all relative, right? You have to like set them to a certain range that you're looking at. So
yes
like,
and
the whole
no,
point
like
is
in general, that's why I'm saying black or blue is your colder, and that's usually your colder representation. And as you go into red and then orange, or like orange and then red and shit, that's like you're hotter and hotter and hotter. Like that's gonna be, but like even still, like thermal isn't like that's the representation. But when you're still looking at the thermal, it's not like that's what it's digitally showing you, because it's reading the temperature and shit. But either way it goes, like it's still going to be brighter than the rest, and that's the thing and shit. So like these orbs that you threw in and shit, like if they've got an electromagnetic field flying them through the fucking atmosphere, bro, like on a warp drive, right? Like there's some tech like that. they're gonna be creating a fucking light show around. You wouldn't even be seeing the orb. Let me put it like that. Or you would be seeing it in a bent shape, even if it wasn't flying fast enough to ionize and irradiate the fucking air it's trapped around it.
Like a lot of heat or something.
Yeah, they would be giving massive fucking. So like, so when you warp a field like that, bro, like let's say you warp the field and shit, the air on the outs, or like on the very outmost area to where the warp field begins and shit, is going to still. It's kind of like you're freezing in a box and shit. Like you're freezing that shit and you're not letting it go, but it's still interacting with an environment around it to a degree. So if you flung a warp field through our atmosphere, it's going to the air in it is, so the oxygen and the nitrogen and other shit is going to be reacting with the free oxygen and ions and other shit in our atmosphere as well. And you're basically going to be seeing a light show, kind of like the aurora borealis, actually, because it's going to be blue and green and shit, because it's hitting these airs. Like the air itself is going to be frictioned as it's moving through. People think a warp field is kind of a magic little area. You're sitting in a warp field right now, guys. We are in the Earth, and the Earth is creating its own warp field, a negative density on space, which is giving us gravity, right? And in that sense,
I found the best idea for my next hoax video.
Okay.
I know exactly how to do it. All right, cheers.
Yeah, like that's why I'm saying, like, and that's why I've told people, because they're just like, well, if it's fake, then it doesn't matter how they did it. And it's just like, no, if it's fake, then someone's going to try and replicate what they would have really thought's going on and shit. And if you know the real physics to it, then you'll know what it's looking like and shit, and like how to tell you it's fake. And that's why,
But
like, so a lot of this.
Yeah.
Do you think it would look more believable if there were like, you know how there's like, you know, with aurora borealis and with like, you know, like with magnetic polarization lines and shit?
Yeah.
If it was something very extreme, like a lot of polarization lines and energy coming off of points, would that be somewhat realistic?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. So if it's an so let's say we're bending space and shit using a magnetic field, which is our best bet, but it's more of we're kind of creating a negative density in the vacuum and shit. It's a bit of a doozy, but either way, like, so the outside the object though, because the warp field has to extend outside the object, because if it doesn't, then it's not going to be large enough to actually carry the object with it. Does that make sense? So it has to be large enough to actually trap everything around that object and carry the object with it. So based on that, and the thing is though, is that magnetic fields coming out in specific patterns though, so you're actually going to see that light show, if you could, in more of a, like, to most cameras it's going to be a fucking flashbang, but realistically it's going to kind of look like you're going to see like the light going in a particular pattern and shit, because of the way the magnetic field is carrying, or like creating that warp field itself, like, because you know, north and south to your magnetic fields, yeah. So basically, but when you're creating a warp field and shit, you're kind of, you're using a lot of magnetic fields. I can't go, like, I wouldn't go into any designs I've personally seen, but a lot of the designs, yeah, like you're kind of,
yeah, and
you're bending.
Speaking about warp drives, this was a photo. So I blocked that William guy. Do you remember this Joe and Desi, when the William guy that was yelling at you during the X space? Remember when he was yelling at you, saying that you're blocking humanity from free energy and so on because of the cartoons and so on? Yeah. So here's the drawing he made. So I blocked him. So here's a reply that he had to.
Just to give context here, he said that he had written like hundreds of papers. I guess his papers for these whiteboard drawings.
Yeah,
that he's
you see this?
Photos of.
No, but you see this. You see this. He made this drawing right here. I want to read what he followed, but I haven't blocked, but because he's just too much. It's just he said this conversation inspired me. How we talked about MH370 in tonight's paper. Ever seen this clip from the Stargate film? That concept works for Forbes. Thanks to these guys, I'm going to do a paper about it tonight. So he's thanking us for that X-Space, and he's going to keep going, debunkers, dare ya. And then look at his drawing. So he has a Stargate. There's a location vector. There's a guide stars. You can see that. You guys can see the screen? And there's the hashtag MH370X, location vector Forbes. There's 1, 2, 3. So apparently there's a fourth orb That's a location vector, and there's MH370, and this is gonna get published in I think Nature.
Oh no, it'll be in the.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, this is congrats. I'm gonna save it.
I sent him a better version of it though. I updated his chart for him, his diagram. Did you see what I sent him?
No, I haven't blocked it out to see. And again, these guys are just going nuts. And apparently,
I can send it to you.
Yeah, so apparently that guy William is so he says he's apparently buying a whole bunch of stuff, equipment, and starting his testing out his lab in what's it called in July 4th. I just want to see what he says. Okay, they can act like what Ashton and Bob. Okay, so he's including Bob in there. That's Bob Greener. Anyways, when he talks about MH370, I just can't do it. Anyways, all of us are saying is nonsense. All they want, they're just making it worse for themselves. Later, 0 Point Energy 25 starts July 4th. So fair warning. So he's warning us. And then Chrysler says soon, and also asked like, why are you? What does a threat mean? He says, what does they are making it worse for themselves later mean? And I said, I think he means Ashton will run for president, then outlaw dissent. All right. Anyways. And I wanted to ask you, Joe, if you wanted to make a fake video for whatever purpose, if you want, I can publish it on my YouTube channel, like do a premiere, be like, here is a new like gravity warping UFO or whatever. So
yeah, one day I will. I should actually do that. Like but hang on, it can't be published from me though.
I'll publish it, but it'll be pretty much like obvious. Or I'll help you do it. I'll publish it.
No, anonymous leaks. You get reconvince people that you've actually somebody's dropped a fake or a new real video, and then you come out and be like, "Ha, tricked you guys motherfucking twice. So catch it again a third time."
But Joe, I can help you. Yeah. We'll post it somewhere on some random YouTube channel, or Desi, you could create one.
Ashton started gonna clip that right there. His team is just like, out of everything we've just handed them, they have just had their metaphorical boys like.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It just because it's pretty funny. Well, he has me blocked anyway, so it'll mean he's watching this again. So he sent a photo. Okay, so this is the thing. Oh, you made this right here, or who made this Stargate?
Oh, I did that for William.
Oh, you made it for him. So you took a screenshot and made it. Holy guys. Okay. So you made this with what program? After Effects?
I just used ChatGPT.
Oh, ChatGPT. Okay, so it looks almost exactly like it. All right, guys. Yeah, so this is pretty epic. So this is way better than his drawing. Okay, so yours was amazing. Holy. This guy's a professional AI maker. Yeah, so I want to go back to that video I wanted to show. And then we'll go back into some of the warp drive. But I do want to look at the thermal stuff. And also, I'm going to play that video first of your 2012 or 2009, as of 2009 highlight reel. And then afterwards, I want to discuss more about the thermal because Ashton Forbes is saying that somehow the plane manifolds, it shows up in the thermal. So that'll be good for you, Desi, to debunk. But I want to get to that after I get to that video. Because apparently Ashton is inside the video. So this is... And again, there's the contrails. They don't line up and so on. But I want to go right here. Okay. Oh, this was way back. 1 second. I have a bunch of stuff opened. Okay. Yeah. So apparently, in the video that the highlight reel that you had. So I saw in the comments that people said that they've noticed the orbs before. So this guy says a year ago, I've seen those orbs before. And this guy says that guy playing ping pong in the video looks oddly similar to Ashton Forbes. So we'll play. That's at the 36-minute mark. So I'll play this right here. This is from your highlight reel again to show the people, especially in the chat. This guy's a literally professional, a professional VFX guy. And again, you made a good point. No other VFX guy is going to show up with the source files. And then there'll be two scenarios for that. It's either Joe made the videos or the videos are fake. I mean, or the videos are real, or the videos are real.
I'm telling you, it will never happen.
Yeah,
He's telling me.
Or the videos are real. Yeah, so it's either nobody else made it besides Joe, or the videos are real, and then they're actually anti-gravity UFOs from interdimensional thingy to steal some lithium from China or something. Anyways.
It's the United States government. Let's not forget the United States government, guys.
Yeah,
is the claim.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but
which also.
Yeah.
If he's actually
I know the guy who you're talking about. He's a friend of mine that looks a little bit like Ashton Forbes in this video.
Okay.
That's funny. I've never considered it before just now.
Okay, we're gonna play this again. And the real question is, can we get in contact with him if he has any info on the on the videos? Okay, Sack says on Rumble's work. Okay, guys, I want to play this, guys. It's very, very fascinating. Again, to show those in the audience that whatever you think of Joe, he's a professional VFX guy, and this is like this is 2012 as of 2009.
Yeah, it was really as of 2009.
Out of curiosity, after we get done with this, or after we get done, you're gonna discuss what it was that you were bringing it on to the William point and shit. Cause yeah, I was gonna say, cause Joe is fucking really good with that one thing, but don't let me forget about that William point.
Yeah, I was gonna play the full video. I was gonna play the full video about the William one. I was gonna play that full audio where he's like yelling at Joe and he's like, "You're killing the world!" And he's gone nuts. I'm like, oh man, this guy. That's what I was blocked. Like I was muted because I left the chat, and when I come back to the X space, I was asking you to like make me a moderator again or whatever, and I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
I was gonna mute him or call him out because it was just too much. But anyways, but a good thing for the audience. I'll play it. But anyways, I'll play the VFX and then we'll see.
I eventually failed, by the way, Matt. I don't exactly recall at what point I fell asleep.
Yeah,
but I fell asleep.
Yeah, because the X space went on for 10 hours apparently. Like yeah, it was like 10 hours. It was wondering where you are. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna play
I
this.
woke up and I was like, "Wait, this shit's still going." No one was there anymore. Fuck! What did I do?
Thought about the entire time, and then just like unmuting to be like, "But I'm still here, Joe," and just like fucking leaving right after.
Yeah, for sure. And
listening to me snore and listening to my dog trying to wake me up.
And that's another part that's like, I think it's like, when the people saying that you're just trolling for views or whatnot, I'm like, that's not what a troll for views does, okay? What a troll for views does is what Ashton Forbes is doing.
Yeah.
This guy's
trying to make money off of this shit. You know, this is the thing, right? This is what annoyed me a little bit earlier tonight, because I quite like Krishley.
Yeah.
As a creator, and I don't know if it's a he or a she, but they have done.
Yes, a she. Yes, she.
Okay, she's done some great stuff, right? Like, I have been following her stuff for a little while. Like, yep, you've nailed it. You're kind of 75% right here. You're 90% right here, type thing, right? Just been following along. She's been real mad at me.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's,
and that's all good, and I understand it. It's no big deal, right? But then, what really kind of did upset me a little bit, like breaking character for a moment, was the implication that I was like asking for money from doing this, and like. I've never asked for a single goddamn cent from any of this. I would never make money out of any of it. The one exception to that rule is when someone keeps pressuring me to say, do this, like, do what your job is, right, for me, because I'm not convinced yet. Well, then I'll say, yeah, okay, sure. Then I'll charge you, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll quote that. I'll say, yeah. I'm like $800 a day for this or whatever, right? Or, you know, give me $100 an hour and I'll do this for you if that's what you really want me to do. But I haven't asked for any money from anyone to talk about any of this. I haven't solicited money from anyone. And she kind of like implied that I sort of wasn't any better than those people that had. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah. No, I understand. I saw the messages of you and Chrysler back and forth. She was actually in the chat at the beginning, and then she said she had to leave when you were about to get on. So I think she's still upset. but it's
no problem. Like, I think she's great. Like, there's no beef. It's just rubbed me the wrong way. That's all.
No, anyway, I understand. Because she's a person that doesn't like trolling. Like you're. Like on here on this channel, like I don't mind. It's whatever. Like I can understand it because again, like you made a good point.
You're still with whatever, man.
Well, because the thing is, no, because you made a good point though. It's like it's literally cartoons, that shouldn't be taken seriously. And so it's like, well, again, yeah, even though you're trolling, because there's a lot of people emotionally invested in it, and the only reason, like, the reason, like,
people get emotionally invested in it, man. I think
okay.
that's on them.
Guys,
They shouldn't.
Baker Tuts is in the chat, guys. Baker Tuts is in the chat. He says, "What's up, guys?" Baker here. Baker, do you want to join the call? I can send you a DM.
Oh, I like Baker.
Yeah, Baker. Yeah, but he still thinks. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he thinks you're trolling or not. But again, I'm pretty sure Joe made the video. Okay.
Anyway, I think a lot of people, though, you gotta remember, a lot of people's emotional investment comes in the fact that they're real families and shit. So to them, it just feels like a lot of the, I said, like the fact that it is real families and shit, like that's what people are always conscious about. And because Ashton's attacked these families, Ashton's attacked like real people and stuff. Like, so to them, it just feels more like it's like, to them, it doesn't feel like such a troll, and to some degrees, I agree, because because that's what I said. The problem is because when people can go and convince people, that's why like 54% of Americans can't read above a 6th grade level and comprehend above a 6th grade level, and that's a massive problem because like that doesn't mean they're stupid though. That just means that they might not have the best comprehension in other fields and shit that they're not in, you know, especially that they're not in and haven't been taught about.
Okay.
So like. And
but hang on, here's my thing though with that, because like obviously there is a real issue that there was an actual disaster where a lot of families lost loved ones, and that sucks, but they're not in this community because like they've been contacted by authorities. They know about the updates, about like the bits of wreckage that were found and shit. They know that they weren't abducted by aliens, right? So the chances that they're in this community clinging on to hope based on like some fucking loser who thinks he's a physicist and a lawyer and a fucking whatever,
like the fact he would still attack them verbally and other shit because they've expressed distaste for him and shit, and he said like fuck the families and other like the fact that he is somebody that would still send that kind of hate towards them and shit. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not about the fact that they're you're right, like they're not in this fucking community hoping on his fucking like his crackheaded themes and shit, but what the problem is his crackheaded themes are getting other people to go and bug people.
Yeah, the only thing I personally have is just with Ashton, I wanna just expose him more and more. So it's like, the trolling is fine, but as long as you just a bit less trolling, a bit more Ashton destroying.
I was gonna say, well, trolling can always be fun and shit. I think for a lot of people though, it's just like the trolling aspect. Like I think that's why they're just upset at you, Joe. It's just because like whether or not you made it or not, it's just that a lot of it feels like fucking that you like. They just feel like they've invested. So yeah, it's just one of those. I think it's just sensitive.
Yeah, I know. It is. Because
I do feel. I kind of feel bad in a way. I do have a counterpoint to it though, in that I feel like if you start to take it seriously, right? Like if you start to actually like seriously try to debunk the different elements of the stupid video, right? I feel like it starts to lend legitimacy to that, and my opinion was to always just clown on it as a concept. So I don't know. I think there's a balance, maybe. Like I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but like I kind of think that maybe not taking it seriously is the better route.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I 100% agree, and that's why I personally come at it in the sense of coming at it mathematically and through science, because like when we actually show, like that's what I said though, like on the X Space with you the other day and shit, but just for on this podcast as well, like I believe that like that's why we should show these people though the proper math and science, and to tell them, hey, these things do exist, but they're not existing like this. And this is what it's going to look like and stuff when you are actually seeing it is the important aspect to like, because like mathematically warp fields are correct. Mathematically, like we do, like I'm not going to say whether or not we've got real warps driving around in other shit in atmosphere, but they're definitely being worked on. And, you know, But either way that goes, like we're working. But that's why we need to push people to looking at that stuff, because when they actually start to pay attention to that and spend time and resource in that instead of all the fake shit, then we actually start to move somewhere as a human race. You know, like
Yeah.
I hate those.
No, you made a good point.
dividers because
No, you made a good point.
become
Like I tell people, even the people that believe in Ashton, I told them if teleportation, all this stuff is real, Ashton Forbes is like the biggest gatekeeper of it by focusing on the cartoons. So it's like if it's real, Ashton Forbes is covering it up by these absolute ridiculous cartoons. But anyways, I do want to. There was a question here. I mean, someone in live chat on Rumble. He says, Sack says, Desi, how do from Lancashire, England? Is that where you're from, or where he's from? He's a retired welder in Spark. All right. I'm not sure if where are you at right now?
I was trying. What's that earlier?
I'm in Brisbane, Australia.
No, you're Brisbane, but where's
sorry.
Desi? Where's Desi from?
Sorry, Desi. Yeah.
I'm just from the United States.
Oh, okay, U.S. Yeah, so I'm in Vancouver, Canada. So we're all all over the place. All right. But again, I guess I do want to play the video. We've been the video of the VFX one, just to show the audience that at least you are professional, and also to show Baker Tuts. Again, Joe is a professional, and this is from 2012 video, but like 2009 and earlier. But let's play this. And again, I want to show the part where his friend looks like Ashton Forbes, and there's orbs in here too. Let's play this.
It does. It does.
Yeah. Okay, so there's Chop. This is from Joe Lancaster, 2012, before the. I want to go back to the orbs. So you saw the orbs right there.
I didn't use that effect for the
Okay, but there's orbs right there. I think those are the orbs.
Yeah.
And now you got this guy.
on fire.
And this is like some Shaolin soccer stuff right here. Oh, there's the orbs. There's more orbs, guys. And then soon Ashton Forbes is gonna show up. Yeah, there's Ashton Forbes, guys. Ashton Forbes is ripped and he's playing ping pong. Yeah, there's Ashton Forbes. It's literally Ashton Forbes. Like.
It does look like him, doesn't it?
Okay, so guys, Ashton Forbes.
Oh.
So we've cracked it. Ashton Forbes and Joe are actually friends, and this is all just a giant grift.
Oh, we're working together. Oh no.
So he needed you. He needed you to do the textures debacle to boost up Ashton Forbes. Ace Baker's in the house. Is Ace Baker in the house? No way. Oh, this is one of these guys, Ace Baker. Oh no. Guys, we found Ashton Forbes. Guys, Ashton Forbes. Do you have the unedited? Do you have the unedited footage of his schlong? Guys, we have Ashton Forbes live with the mustache. This is
Okay,
Ashton
I get a
Forbes.
replay of that. I gotta show that's a
Yeah. This is guys, Ashton Forbes live. Before he's famous. He's literally Ashton Forbes. Of these source files or anything related, like emails, or like, do you even have?
No, I've talked to them about it.
Oh,
We've
really?
all
Okay.
had a good laugh about it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is there even any emails that say like, "Hey, I'm working on some teleportation videos" or anything? Even just a random off-topic email, text message that you have somehow that can be documented as.
Yeah, I probably do.
That's what I mean. Like,
Look, I've been quite coy about those though, because like it sort of verges into the area of like communications with other people, and I know a lot of people in that community are sort of fucking insane.
yeah. The William guy. I want to play the William guy ranting at you. That's if we have time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably do. I can show you. Maybe not publicly, but in
Yeah,
person.
'cause
Like
I asked you that
maybe just
before.
privately.
No, I asked that before. Like in private, if I can like just show me anything, just so that I can tell people I saw it, and then and then people wanna not believe me, but then that's another person, and I'm not gonna be and I'm
They won't care anyway, man. They'll just say I just faked messages. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I understand, but the thing is, Ashton Forbes will have to say this guy faked it, but then he has me blocked. So doesn't even want to like talk to me. Doesn't even want to show my name. So it's kind of like one of those where this person, and I'm not trolling because I'm like public.
Goes back to what I was saying though. Like, I'm happy to do it if you really want me to.
Yeah.
But I think it's silly. And I don't think it will matter to them at all. Right? They'll just say, I just
You're
faked
a friend.
messages.
Friend, and they won't believe it because then it's a fucking friend.
No, I
and
know.
Shit, so of course.
Yeah, but unless they're like someone else, but yeah, if anybody else wants him, but if you just show me, I'll be promoting it. I'll make it pretty obvious that then be like, you guys can not believe me if you want, but I really don't care. Like he showed me it, because I think that's one thing that will add credibility. Well, again, you already, in my opinion, you have credibility. Just because it's the whole thing is just a giant
okay.
it's a giant shit show. The whole thing.
No, here's the thing. I want you to question my credibility. I want everyone to. I want everyone to fucking question credibility of anyone involved in this.
No, I do.
Everything.
But the thing is, it just seems like I just don't know how. Even when those messages from the textures ones, like you can see my messages, I still think it's you did it, because I'm like, they don't make any sense. It's like you're telling textures, hey, can you fake an email? By the way, show up to this space where I'm talking about about the videos I made them. So it's like. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you invite them and tell them?
I can explain that. I can explain. It makes total sense to me, right? I thought because like, I don't know if you remember early on when Textures also was playing a bit of a joke on the community.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, when they showed the UFOs on their website, they said we're gonna have the proof that yeah.
So I thought they were kind of my boys.
No,
you know, like I thought.
They're not.
I thought they'd be in one, right? And by the way, that was after I had messaged them the first time. So if you see in the first message of the screenshot, between me and Textures, that's dated like before they ended up playing like pranks on the community and stuff with the UFO addition to the website and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So. That early on, I was telling him that it wasn't me.
Okay.
Like I'd sort of come out like in a soft way, but then people that I didn't know or didn't trust, like quite frankly, I would say no, just trolling, right? Just testing the waters, and so that's where the first message comes from. After then, I thought they were totally on board. Mm-hmm. I kind of thought, oh no, these are my boys now, because they're also fucking around and making jokes with it. Mm-hmm. And so the messages after then, and I don't think they ever responded.
No, they never responded. They never responded. They just say, can you please confirm that we indeed emailed you? But the thing is, you never actually bought the images. You just used them from however you got them. Did you get them from Textures, or did you get it from someone that had it from bought it from Textures?
No, I didn't get them from Textures. That's what I'm saying. So I just got them from someone else.
No, but that's a good point though. So the thing is, like, do you remember where you which source? Because then we could show that there's a third party source that had the video.
No, dude, it's not worth like tracking it down like that. Let me tell you how it works, right?
Yeah.
people in my industry, we often like we'll get together on a job, right? We'll all connect our fucking like external hard drives and shit, and they'll be like, "Oh shit, you've got Action Essentials 5? Yeah, can I just grab it off you? Yeah, sick." And we'll just like swap assets. Like that's just how it works, right?
Yeah, okay.
We're not supposed to do that for commercial work. We're supposed to then go and like license it usually.
Yeah.
There'll be like licensing things. It depends on what you're doing. Like, I mean, you can get away with it in most situations, but if it's an
so many
actual like, outright advert,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
TV shows. Shit, it's not even just the networks. It's just because all the fucking artists are literally sharing the fucking like. That's why you hear one sound across so many different shows. Like, what the fuck?
But we all use each other's shit like all the time, even on real jobs and stuff. It's just if it's going to be in a situation like the, I guess the unwritten rule, right, is that if it's going to be in a situation where the asset that you're about to use is key, like if it's like front and center, if it doesn't require much modification, if it's important to what you're doing, then yeah, you got to go and pay for it. You got to go and license it. Yeah. Otherwise, if it's just some extra background, like bits of texture and shit in the background, no one gives a fuck. No one's ever gonna find it.
All right, 1 second.
Sorry, I don't know how we got off that topic.
So you guys can talk. I'll be back in like literally 30 seconds. 1 second.
You got it.
Ah, damn. That means I can't get him to pull up something. That actually, so while we got a chance and shit, so that's what I'm kind of thinking, and I want to direct the conversation a little bit towards Joe, if you don't mind, if we can hijack it a bit and shit, as if I can, is because I think a really important aspect here is so I think I'm gonna get Matthew here to pull up some images of what IR actually looks like, right? I think first we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna look at your filter and shit that you've got applied. But I was gonna say, did you go in and like Gaussian blur certain shit during some frames and shit? Or was that just the filter itself? Because it looks like some frames are a little bit more like tilt, like in that sense, like I can tell the edges and shit like are interacting just a little bit more. Like it looks like you've blurred like a bit harder, you know, like in between a couple of frames.
Okay, I can explain that. Yeah, in general, there's a little bit of a blur, right? Because like with the plugin I'm using, which I think was Colorama, it's an After Effects plugin, which you could just assign like what in my case would have been like luminance channel to a range of different colors. Range from like a deep blue through to a green, yellow, red, orange, whatever, right?
Yeah, that's like a really do it too. Go on.
Sorry, say again.
I was saying that's a really big giveaway to it being a filter as well, is because of the way you like so like the way you kind of allow the colors to fluctuate and shit and stuff. Like it's kind of following a real gradient like heat map and shit, but it's like you can tell like because of how some things should be interacting and shit, that's like your mask did really well and shit, but like you can tell in some spots to where it's like, it's got like artifacts basically, I guess.
Hang on. If I explain my process, it might make a ton of sense to you. Because so
see,
I
like,
would work generally with the highest res and sharpest images, like excuse me. Sharpest images I can, right? And then I would convert that into like a luminance map. So after I've done my compositing with the plane and everything like that, I would then convert that into a luminance map, which is basically just a black and white image of what I'm doing, right? It's not really
that mask.
And the shaking here too. I just noticed how much it's shaking right here. Look at the shaking. Holy.
Yeah. Look at that, right? You could see where it's passing through the mask. That's what I'm saying. Like.
But hang on. Let me finish explaining, right?
God.
At this point, though, once you've already got the plane in, and once it's like composited into the image, even when it's sharp, even before any blurring or anything, right? Then there's motion tracking applied to it. and that motion tracking picks up like movement data. So it's like for each frame, each frame isn't a solid frame, right? There is the way that a camera lens works is it's open for a small amount of time and then it closes. So you get what's called motion blur.
You interlope frames.
Yeah, you can just do that automatically in the software that I'm using. You can just like apply the motion blur as it would potentially be. But if you double up on that, if there's something that's already had a bit of motion blur applied to it and you try and retrack it to a bit of different motion, then you start to get blurrier and non-blurrier frames, if that makes sense. Like the motion blur doesn't quite make sense sometimes. But then overall, I would have applied additional blur before doing the color armor, before applying the grain and stuff like that. So yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's kind of what I thought is like that, because like I said, like that's what I was pointing out to him and shit. Is like there's like there's very obvious frames and shit, and there's even noise in like the contrail and shit that doesn't match up with like what you're looking at, like what you would be looking at and shit. Should this fucking object just be yeeting itself through the contrail and shit at that speed? Like the turbulence noise and shit in it is just very obvious. But right there, look, yet again, like let's play that. Like this needs to be and that's what I've told somebody. You can literally, when somebody tried contrasting something out and being like, oh, I stabilized the contrail out to show something, quite literally they made it black and like the object's black, right? The plane black and the orb black, and then it like had a contrast around it. And in that contrast, you can see where the orbs clip into the plane, but it's not clipping into the plane; it's clipping into the mask.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's right there.
Wait,
it's,
yeah.
So when he's in, like on that part where it zooms in, you can see Joe, like you can see where it runs into the mask because of how the orb, like that's why that orb's distorting and shit, is because it's like way back and shit, like zoom. It's like wherever Matthew was at just a few seconds, or like a minute or so ago. Yeah, like to where it's fucking zooming all up in. Yeah, like right as it's going up under this plane, right? Hold on.
I'll do slow motion.
Right, yeah, like. Yeah, right there you'll see it, and then in another frame you'll see it and shit to where right there, like to where how the objects kind of look. It's you see like how it's like looking like it's
okay. No. What that is because I've got like I've got the 3D animation of the plane and the orbs, right?
Yeah.
All the processing is happening after the animation, so. There's only so many frames.
Okay, yeah, and we have a couple questions here just in the chat. The first one is Amber Ash says, what about when you admitted to Jonas you were LARPing, or LARPing, bro? And then because I think he's told something to Jonas, and then Baker Tuts is asking, what's the advantage of using real footage, tracking it, painting out a plane, and then adding your own plane back in? Why not make everything from scratch? So basically, the Jonas LARPing the question, and then the Baker Tuts, why not do everything from scratch instead of using real footage and so on?
The Jonas one is same reason as I said earlier. I didn't want to. I was still fucking with people at that point. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
I still don't apologize for it though. I think this is
it is pretty ridiculous, but the thing is, because like the reason
all of those the same with textures, the same with Jonas, those times that I told them that I was like trolling were very early on.
Mm-hmm.
This is long before like I ever did like an AMA or went on with you, for example, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
I was fucking with people, and I don't apologize for it.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Because like the reason I have like a lot of patience with all this trolling and all this like this whole silly cartoons and stuff, because I actually have an older brother that's mentally handicapped. I'm like his caretaker. So I'm used to just nonsense. So it's like, it's all right. It's kind of like, basically like, I'm able to like have a lot of patience for just this entire scenario. Like again, these cartoons, a lot of people are emotionally invested in them.
Handicap?
It's like he's schizophrenic / autistic. It's like his brain is like, he's pretty functional though. Like it just said his brain is like a kid, but he's like 41, 42 years old, and so on. So, but yeah, he doesn't know how to.
You look after him?
Yeah, I'm his caretaker pretty much. So it's like, yeah, so that, it's surprisingly it's helped a lot in terms of like psychology. Like a lot of people are invested in the cartoons and all of these cartoons. I keep calling them cartoons. That William guy didn't like when I called them cartoons, and so on. It's like in a way I understand. It's like it's similar to when my brother, when he gets super infatuated with like a drawing or whatnot. It's like if he wants a drawing, you give it to him even if it's like nonsense. You just make it for him. It's kind of like. So I'm able to balance a bunch of nonsense with a straight face.
Dude, I applaud that. You're doing a great job, man. For real.
Yeah, no worries. But again, that's why. Yeah, thanks. But that's why it's helped with this stuff. Like that's why I see you don't have that much patience for this MH370 stuff. Like I have a lot of patience. Like I understand that you don't have much patience for the cartoons and so on, and people taking it seriously. And all that, it's like, yeah. I understand where you're coming from. My view is again, I have a handicapped brother, so it's like.
Hey man, I've got.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's like the same thing. I gotta balance people's egos on nonsense.
I have a really great TV show to recommend you, but I want to come back to it because there was another half to the question that you asked me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what it was. The first part was about why did I tell Jonas that I was trolling, and then there was a second half to that question.
Oh yeah. The other one was actually Baker Tutz is asking. So Baker Tutz is asking, and now he's asking another question. Again, I just don't want. That's why I wanted him to get on the show. So basically, he's asking. The first question is, what's the advantage of using real footage, tracking it, painting out a plane, and adding your own plane back in? Why not make everything from scratch? And then he also says, you previously mentioned you used a 3D cloud tutorial / template, but now it's real footage. I'm not sure what he says you use a real cloud, or is it?
Can I just answer the first one?
Yeah.
It's a super quick answer.
And you could see the. I'll go with you could if you ever want to read it a bit better. It's here if you can zoom in somewhere. I'll try to zoom in. Yeah. So anyways, what's the reason? You can see his messages right there. So there's
advantage of using real footage, tracking it. I'll tell you why. It's just because I don't know. I wasn't good enough to make it from scratch.
Okay. So you're
like
saying
it's just easier to do what I know. So what I know, like my area of expertise, just so you know, is in 2D comping and 2D visual effects and mastering. I'm not even if there's ever anything like super complicated, I get a team in to do visual effects with me, right? I've been doing it for a while on my own, but I don't claim to be like an expert on any particular area of visual effects.
I've actually got a good thing to add in on this for that, because I'd like to know that, because like if that is the case, then because from what you've mentioned and shit, my thing is like to answer his question, you do it for the realism. Yet again, that's why I've been saying the realism, guys. What he did was he took this contrail and now it's following this plane. He takes the object out because the plane's got to have mass applied to it and other stuff in a different sense. And so you're gonna have to make it a 3D object. And then he's just going to paint back in over these things, and now he knows the movement and stuff. He doesn't have to model physics. He doesn't have to question anything else. He just has to basically trace. You do it in VFX to trace. It is a
Exactly.
tracing algorithm and modeling without having to actually go out and do it yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm working within the framework of shit that I know. I know 2D compositing very well. I had some source footage. That's just what I use. It's just much easier than me trying to create it
Okay.
from scratch.
And
Tracking errors don't matter, right? For
Okay.
for what I'm doing, like literally, it didn't matter I shouldn't have put any of the effort that I put into the videos, right? Because these are literally videos that were made for a short film to be played on screens. Nobody was going to analyze them, but as a VFX artist, I like to sort of put that little bit of extra into it, right? So I go and I do the little things like, let's just make some, semi-accurate coordinates and shit in the satellite videos. Let's just, give it a little bit of pizzazz, right? Otherwise I get bored when I do VFX. I have to I go a little bit extra and then they'll wind it back, right? But in this case,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I didn't even go that far. It was pretty simple.
Yeah. And Baker Tuss has more questions here if you want to read this. He says, you previously mentioned use a 3D cloud tutorial / template, but now it's real footage. What was this question right here? What is this for?
Both.
Oh,
So
you
I
use
think
both.
we're
Okay.
talking about-
The first, because you remember you said it was cut into real footage, or the beginning was fake and then it was real, or something like that.
Yeah. So you remember how earlier I was talking about the first 5 to 10 seconds of the I guess what we're calling the thermal.
Yeah, we just call it
footage.
thermal. Just call that, just for ease of access, or just the drone footage.
Yeah. So that had a bit of had a 3D element of the.
So here's the beginning.
contrail.
Yeah, so here's the beginning.
Look at how
Yeah, so
mean,
the contrail at the beginning was
clouds in the background.
So
By
those
the way,
clouds are
the clouds in the background are still 2D.
okay. So these are 2D clouds that this was not the real footage one. He clips it into the real footage. This is fake footage, you're saying, and then this was also 3D fake contrail.
Yeah, no, the that's the part that was fake there, right? The contrails
And the clouds as well. You said.
and obviously the foreground drone and everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. So the drone and these clouds is 2D clouds. It's not actual.
2D clouds. They're not 3D clouds.
And then this
They're
plane.
not real footage.
What about the plane there? The plane was that real footage of the plane or just fake footage of the plane?
No, that's all generated.
Okay.
This is all just a 2D comp basically.
Okay.
With some 3D elements.
Yeah, so this is the part just the generator everything, and then I think this answers the questions. Baker Tuts, yeah. So he previously says he used a 3D cloud tutorial template. So that's this part, 2D cloud making it look 3D.
No, I never said I used a 3D cloud tutorial or template or anything. I'm just saying about the contrails when it first passes camera.
Yeah, okay.
That was
the part that's 3D. So he used a contrail 3D. Okay, and then it shifts over to the footage. And then when you said it was real footage, I think you said your brother may have footage, and that includes the clouds as well, like the whole background.
You can see, as soon as it zooms in there, it turns into a fucking different shot.
Okay,
see where the plane goes out.
Yeah, and this is real
There you
footage. And then the other questions, he has more. First, he says, using real footage would be much more difficult, higher chance of tracking errors, color mismatch. And again, I think you answered basically it's not a big deal.
I mean, that's true. It is, but I wasn't good enough to do exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and then
without using real footage.
Yeah, and then the other one, it says the contrails pass over the plane. How do you remove the plane while keeping contrails intact? Is that the beginning? Is that the beginning part? I think it was 3D generated. I'm not sure. He says you can read the question. The contrails pass over the plane. How do you remove the plane while keeping the contrails intact? I think
You just removed the plane.
He just removed the plane.
So one of the things that I was doing at that time a lot, actually for a feature film, at that point, was I was doing a lot of paint outs. So I got really good at just painting shit out, frame by frame by frame. You can sometimes skip frames, you can sometimes interpolate between frames, but it was just rotoscoping, basic work. So I got super efficient at it. And, when you have a certain object in a fairly like bright background, like you have a slightly dark plane, I think it was in the footage, against a very bright background, you can track that plane and then do a mask and then just paint out the plane, then the contrails, they don't quite match up 100%, but they're sort of close enough. You can like feather it and get away with it. I mean, if what you're compositing over the top is slightly larger or at least shifted back a little, then it sort of works. And so, yeah, it was fine.
Okay. No. Yeah, I guess. I think it pretty much answers it. Does that answer your questions, Baker Tuts? It makes sense to me. It's just like basically used 3D basically stuff at the beginning and then clipped it over with the other one. And
Let me know though, because like, hang on, like in the first
yeah, you can see the clip.
thing that we did.
Yeah.
I kept seeing comments after that, like I didn't have a good answer for something, and I think that it might have been Baker's.
Yeah, I think it was
that.
Baker. Yeah,
I just want to make sure that I'm answering it properly now. If I haven't understood it correctly, let me know.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking him right now. It's Baker. Yeah, because again, I think Baker's still a skeptic, but like in my opinion, again, like you are right that everyone should be a skeptic, but it's like I just don't see how like this is it just seems pretty straightforward. It's kind of like for example, Ashton Forbes will never go on the show. Like I'm asking him if he can join the show. He's just too scared. And then so Baker Tutt says just seems like a weird workflow. Most people would make everything from scratch for the flexibility. And the question, for the flexibility, and yeah, so that's what he's saying right now. Weird workflow. Most people make everything from scratch from flexibility. And
it's not weird. It's just it's pretty it saves time. It's not weird at all.
Okay.
Like that's just how I would do most things. Like work with whatever footage you got, work with whatever materials you got, make it work.
And was there a timeline you have to do this by, or is it just when you were doing the videos? Was there a timeline for because you said it was some sort of pilot project or something?
It was a short film.
Oh, it's a short film.
No, there was no timeline. Yeah.
And
I probably spent I don't know, like if I really don't know. Like I would estimate I probably spent about 2 days of actual work on it, but it could have in real time, like in and amongst other shit, might have been a week or 2, 3, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, but again, Pager Tots, yeah, if you have, let me know what you think, but it seems reasonable, like, with me, because, like, I similar with when I edit stuff, I just I do whatever, and now I use AI helps, and just throw whatever, but I'm not a professional at this stuff, I just, do whatever, but again, yeah, I just don't see anything wrong with this answer, but again, like I was saying, Ashton Forbes does not want to ever show his face on here. That's a tell to me, saying he does not want to be questioned in any way. And that's opposite of Joe. All right, so that's yeah. So and Baker, yeah, let me know in the comments anything else. Can you please 29,000 times Thermite says, please, can you please introduce the guest again? Oh yeah, so I want to introduce again. So Joe Lancaster is the alleged creator of the MH370 videos. I'm pretty sure he made them. A lot of people think, since the trolling scenario, think that he wasn't making them, but I'm pretty sure he made them. And then Desi or Desran is an engineer, wants to remain anonymous, but he was in the X space that Joe made, and then he was making some really good points about the physics and possibilities of the videos and so on, and I think we can. I want to play something from the X space, and we can go discuss some of the physics, because that William guy was talking about Newtonian physics of the orbs, but I think he may have fallen for one of the hoax where the whole the orb punches out the clouds. It doesn't actually punch out. Someone made a hoax of your video. Someone actually made a fake video.
Einsteinian also. So technically we have two things that go on. The orbs play Newtonian if they're smacking into that contrail and shit. That's Newtonian.
Mm-hmm.
What's Einsteinian how the electromagnetism and stuff is bending the space and interacting with that
Yeah,
atmosphere.
to create the
So,
wormhole and all this, all this jazz. All right, I do want to play the William yelling at Joe part, if you don't mind, Joe, because it was like abuse. The guy was like wanted to like attack you. I'm like, what is this guy doing? I'm gonna go back to this part. Okay, so I think we have it at the X space. Let me just find the link to the links. Okay, so okay, first of all, okay, and also, yeah, before we even go further, this is your IMDb page, Joe. It says you worked on Sunset, Bait, Stalker. Is there any recent big videos?
Yeah, okay, so this is okay. I have not updated my IMDb page for a long time. Currently, I am Joe Lancaster number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Holy.
I'm a lot of them. I haven't like kept up with them. I don't add to it, but I've worked on a lot of shit since I did. But most of the Joe Lancasters are me. I just haven't like consolidated them.
Okay, and any relation to Burt Lancaster or Sarah Lancaster?
No, not to my knowledge.
All right. I was gonna ask. All right. Okay. So yeah, and what's the biggest movie that you're in? So this is not related to this person. All right. What's the biggest movie that are you allowed to say which movies you're on, or what's the biggest one?
Oh yeah, sure. I don't know.
I think Beauty and the
let's
Beast
see.
was one of them. It says here.
Oh no, they're not big. No, don't don't quote those.
Okay.
Those are terrible.
Okay.
Those are not only some of the worst movies I've worked on. They're some of the worst movies that have ever been put to film.
Yeah, but they're famous. I'm just saying, what's a big name that I'm not interested in? Yeah, so there's another one, Hinckley. What's the most famous one that you were in?
Well, there's a lot. Have you ever heard of like the movie Bait? For
Bait.
example.
No, you were on Sinbad. Okay, Sinbad. I used to watch that way back.
No, we're not talking about Sinbad.
Yeah,
Like,
Sinbad.
let's
Okay.
pretend that one.
Hey, Sinbad, you're a celebrity in my book. So you wrote Sinbad, or you edited for Sinbad. That's pretty good in my book. That's good enough.
Terrible movie.
I have a low bar. Sinbad is it's pretty funny. All right. So anyways, there's a Bait is over there. Okay, but Sinbad. Okay, so Sinbad. You're local celebrity. Let's go.
Terrible.
All right.
Look, Bait was sort of the first movie, like feature film that I worked on that was an international production that actually had more than like a local budget. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it had like something like a $25 million budget. It was co-production between Australia and Singapore. And I was working on another job at the time, which ironically was also another shark movie.
Okay.
And I was quite happy with doing what I was doing, and I got asked to work on this as an assistant editor. And I was like, oh, it would, like, they told me it would involve like 3 months of working on the Gold Coast in Australia and then three months of living in Singapore. And I was sort of like, oh, that stresses me out. I don't know if I can live overseas for that long, right? So I just kind of put my rate up. I was just like, yeah, look, I'll agree to it, but it's going to be, $1,800 a week rather than what they were initially offering. It's like $1,500, I think, right?
Okay.
And then they came back and said, yep, all right.
No, that's
And
good.
I was like, oh, shit.
And
So I went in, did it, and that was Xavier Samuel, Phoebe Tonkin, fucking, who else is in that?
this
Fucking
is Sharni
stupid.
Vissen. Another point is you said is a joint feature between Singapore and Australia. So someone snuck into someone snooped and found Ashton Forbes' Facebook. So he actually graduated from Singapore, a high school in Singapore, and Singapore is right beside Malaysia. and this is all about and then basically the Malaysian airplane got lost at sea. So maybe the sharks ate it up or something. And somehow you're connected with again the Singapore connection with Ashton Forbes. I think it was just interesting.
But anyway, the movie isn't what's important here. It was a terrible movie. It turns out.
Yeah, it's not famous. But
I thought, like, while we were making it, I thought it might have been fun because the director was cool, and he was kind of trying to treat it like a bit of the joke that it was meant to be, right?
Yeah.
And it's campy and like not taking itself seriously.
And it's 2012 too, so again 2 years before the MH370. So
yeah,
that was good.
And so, but then like after the movie had basically been rough cut, after my job was almost done, essentially, producers came in and said, "Nah, it's not serious enough." And it's like, yeah, we know. Like, that's the point. It's silly. There's a shark in a supermarket. Like, how serious can it be?
Oh, that's what it was about? It was a shark in a supermarket. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's a tsunami and there's some sharks washing into a supermarket.
Yeah,
that's the whole premise.
Okay, and it got a 5.2 stars out of 10.
They wanted the director to take it more seriously and less like a funny thing and more like a horror. And that's just... And we were already done with the movie. Like, we'd made the movie. It's just like, oh, fuck. So by the time I ended up seeing it in cinemas, and I took my girlfriend with me at the time, I remember it distinctly. I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all good. But the Sinbad one.
Embarrassed.
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed to show her like what it had become.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever been more embarrassed. But it is what it is. Look, it was a great rap party. Got to hang out with fucking like dude from Twilight and the dude from like Nip Tuck and you know, all the people.
Yeah.
But the main important thing about that one was it was the first Australian feature film movie that was shot in stereoscopic 3D properly.
Oh, whoa, not like the other one. Okay. not like the MH370 stereoscopic.
Yeah. There had been some attempts before that to do like some scenes in kind of stereoscopic 3D, but this was the first one post James Cameron's Avatar in 2009 that we attempted to do a real feature film in Australia, shot entirely properly on stereoscopic camera rigs. And so I was sort of part of the team that worked out like the workflow for how that would work in post-production.
Yeah.
So in a way, you could say I sort of paved the way for stereoscopic filmmaking, post-production wise at least, in Australia.
Holy, let's go. And then
I drew up the document for how it would work because like it's different, right? With stereoscopic filming, you have two cameras, they have two separate camera feeds. They are doing like a left eye and a right eye. They're split by like mirrors, right?
Yeah.
So for dailies, what the fuck do you do as an assistant editor? That was my job, first assistant editor. So you get two different sets of footage, but you have to make sure that they're synced. And then you have to like do the dailies like you normally would with two separate sets of footage, provide them to the colorist, get both of them back, and then assemble them in a way where the editor will be able to have access to both. And at that time, like I was working at the Blackmagic Studios in Singapore, so we had access to all of like Blackmagic's like technicians and shit. Who they make DaVinci Resolve. So they were able to solve certain problems for us and make a lot of stuff streamlined. but I still needed to get them to Avid, which was the offline editing system that we were using, in a way that the editor could have access to both the left and the right eye and be able to switch to goggles and to view it in 3D at the time, right? Mm-hmm. So we had to like mux the left and the right eye in a certain way. We ended up doing like top half of, because Avid only works in like standard video frames, right? So you're also limited by that. So top half of the video frame is left eye, bottom half of the video frame is right eye, and then you get the software to like mux it so that it looks like just one eye, except you can then look at it on the stereoscopic monitor and you can view both eyes and so on and so forth. It was a whole headache. So yeah, I kind of like wrote the fucking manual on how to do that for post-production, at least in Australia. They've done it already overseas, like James Cameron did it for Avatar. They already nailed it in New Zealand and America, but I think I was the first one for Australia to write a manual on it.
Holy, no, that's great stuff. And yeah, if you can maybe send a link to that document, that'd be good as well, because a lot of people, they don't realize how much of a like advanced background you have on this. Especially with Ashton Forbes controlling.
Send you a link to the document that I wrote up for.
Yeah, the manual. And then I'll post it. Be like, this guy here, the guy who made the MH370 videos, also created the stereoscopic. Huh?
I promise you, I'm looking for it right now.
Okay, no, that'd be cool. But again, yeah, this is some advanced stuff. Yeah, so you were like literally pioneering stereoscopic 3D for movies in Australia. So you're like James Cameron. You're the Australian James Cameron. Unbelievable. And
no, I'm not Australian James Cameron. No, I'm just I was a technician at the time, working on some fairly disruptive technology. Yeah.
Okay, and then no, that's good. And then the JK Philly fan, I think he's this guy in the comments. I think he wanted a question for Desiren earlier. I didn't have a chance to read it, but we'll read it right now. This is for Desiren. JK Philly fan. He's like I think Ashton Forbes groupie. Was my Dr. James Nachakaman Q question answered by the engineer earlier? Okay, I'll have to read this. So Desiren, if you're there, this guy was asking a question. Let's go read this. It's hard to read it. I can't zoom out anymore. Zoom out. Okay, the question is, and I can't even see it. Okay, so I have to leave. Is the engineer familiar with Dr. James Air Force Studies force-free time harmonic plasmoids? Okay, this is some advanced science right here. So Desran, if you can read that comment, let me know what you think. Anyways, is Desran still here? Is the question. Okay, so
Matthew, I just sent you one of my documents, like the first stage, like ingest of material document.
Okay, it says request. I can't. It says request access. I'll just request this from my personal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Here. Just request. I'll give you access.
Yeah. This is kind of what I mean. And the other part is, if you were able to show any sort of communication just to me privately, and I'll just tell people. Another way is if you could send it to the X account, and then I won't view it online. I'll delete it right after. But then I'll tell people live. I'm seeing it live. That's another thing we could do as well. So it'll be like a live. That'd be if you're.
Missed any.
Okay, so you're back, Desran. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah. So if you see the JK Philly fan is asking questions about plasmoid, if you ever read Dr. James Nachakin, he had Air Force studies on force-free time harmonic plasmoids. All right, let's go. So that's the thing. You can see this. I'm not sure if he's asking if you've heard about that or not. Dr. James.
Yeah, what I was gonna say. The real question is whether or not it's force-free doesn't matter, because so the warp field itself that it's creating and shit, it's gonna say that, I mean, the plasmoid's creating that field, then I mean, hell, how's the plasmoid even being created is the real question, because that's like that's the grand question, and the only way it could be is through EMF, which is an electromagnetic field, and a strong EMF is still going to interact with the environment outside of it. The warp bubble is going to be great. Everything inside, fine. Everything outside, not so fine. And that's what I was trying to like discuss earlier. So like, there's a very thin layer of like the air and stuff that kind of becomes highly ionized and irradiated, because basically the outermost layer of a warp bubble is because of the space it's bending, the air in the bubble is still trying to interact with the air outside the bubble, in the sense of like the outside of the like what's the best way? Like I described it earlier, you're kind of taking like a box and you're freezing everything inside that box, and the outer edges of the box are going to interact with everything outside of it. Ironically, we're going to use this cube and stuff that Matthew's pulled up for us. Like, so, like everything, the outer edges of that cube, like, are going to experience it, but the very center of that cube is going to be A-okay, at least if you've got good enough radiation protection and stuff, because, you know, that field is being created.
No,
I'm trying to.
No, you're making a good point. Basically, whatever this, let's say if it's actual warp stuff's warped, it's gonna interact with how the thermal is perceived. I think that's
yeah. I'm trying to say like.
And going back to the thermal one right here, the orbs.
Right.
So if this is all, if this color of the green indicates the heat, then the orbs are like the similar heat. So the question is, what are the odds that there's similar heat?
Yeah, what are the odds? And that's what I was trying to discuss earlier. That's why I've been discussing the heat map and other stuff to do with the plane, is because, so like, and that's what I told Joe. He almost like would have it right and shit, but there's a couple of things he missed. Like the fact that the orbs, like you see that blue area around the orb and shit, that wouldn't be blue. That would be red hot, because that would be that outer area of the warp field. Now, see, here's the argument and the problem though. How is this orb proceeding to have now? It could have its own warp field, and it expands that warp field to cover the plane. And they're arguing, well, it was harmonizing with the other orbs, and then it harmonizes with this fourth one, and that's where it jumps to. Okay. Well, the problem with that is we would see the warp field still yet again. We'd see that ionization, and we would see that ionization spread. So if you tried to encompass something that's living, like a plane, like if you tried to basically fly an object that's already forming its own warp field, and then you expand that warp field to cover the plane, you're ionizing everything. You're basically frying everything and everyone in that plane just by beginning to envelop them in that field. Yeah. So in the first.
No, you're right. And a lightning bolt is just ionization of the air. So basically, imagine this like as a mini lightning bolt.
Color in lightning bolts is because it's ionizing the gases of oxygen, nitrogen, we have argon, like trace elements, and depending on the temperature and depending on like the gas of that area and shit, like depending on the climate and a couple other things, you're going to have a bit more heavy of one or the other and stuff. So like so like just saying, over even the airspace over a forest is different from the airspace over a desert in terms of the gases you're going to find.
Just
for
sure.
A slight difference.
Yeah, and again, I want to make a point for Joe here. So Joe, when we're talking about thermal one right here, so because you said the colors are relative, and one point is if the plane is green, and then the orbs are green, so they're the exact same color, like pretty much in the same color range. And I was telling Desran, what are the odds of that? So it's like if it's again, this is for the Ashton Forbes peeps. So if it's a real video, what are the odds that the temperature of this is exactly the same as that, even though this is like 40 degrees, minus 40 degrees as it's going that fast? And I do want to show something here. Actually, I think before we get there, that's some messages from.
Hang on, just before you move on, I can tell you exactly why that is. Because like. Literally what I was compositing ended up being nothing more than like a grayscale image, right? Where the plane's bright, and I put some bright spots at the engine and the base, right? But everything else is sort of fairly dark. But it's just a standard grayscale image. So like There's no thermal imaging going on. I'm very sorry to admit that, but
No, again, we're not
it's a
talking
color.
about you here. We're talking about the people in the chat the few people in the chat that are still the one that follow Ashton. They're saying that this is some sort of a heat signature. But again, the green is indicating that this is the same as that one. It's going to be they're both minus 40 degrees, roughly. Anyways,
See the orbs?
yeah.
You see the orb? Right. I'll tell you where I've made the exact same model in 3D, and you know about it.
So,
you ready for it?
Okay, go on.
Remember the ping pong ball?
Yeah. The Ashton Forbes playing ping pong? Yeah.
It's a fucking sphere with a piece of glass in it, so that it's not 100% symmetrical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one here. Roll through that shot there.
Whoops. Go back. And play it
It's
slow
at the end, bro. Into where he does that final shot, it does a zoom in on the ball and shit, and you can see it.
It goes back to it. Yeah.
Because there's Ashton Forbes playing ping pong. Holy, I didn't realize he was this athletic.
Isn't that orb pong though? Wouldn't that be orb pong for him?
Or
curiosity.
pong, yeah.
Orbs, yeah.
It goes back to it a little later, and you get a slightly closer up look.
Can we all just contemplate the fact that this means Ashton's claiming that he's a master of balls, the understander of all things to do with,
Yeah. Okay. There's Ashton. Ashton is his ball handling skills. All right. But yeah. So you're saying, okay, is there zoom in on the ball? Is there anything else about it?
Yeah, there is. Go forward. You'll find it.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Right up. I have it going at 0.07x speed. I'll go frame by frame. So, if you download this extension, video speed one, you can go frame by frame. So I'm literally going frame by frame. So if I just press okay, there it is. Oh, look at Ashton. My goodness. Let's go. There's Ashton.
Okay,
and this was the guy in the Maldives. Okay, this one right here.
The whole ping pong match, there is no ball there. Just so we're all clear.
Oh, there's no ball.
Me putting the ball there. There's no ball. The
Really?
ball doesn't exist.
I thought you went to Thailand and played ping pong. Did you hear about the Thailand ping pong thing? What they do? My friends, when they went to Thailand,
I'm
apparently
just trying to highlight that back in fucking 2006, 2007, it's very easy to put a sphere into something.
This one is so advanced, yeah. Okay, so there's no ball, guys. So Ashton Forbes is not hitting the ball. Okay, look at that. Okay.
That's my ball.
So that's a ball. Okay, no, that's a pretty cool ball.
Yep.
And then there's
there it is.
It's gone. It's back. Unbelievable.
Amazing, right? So that is basically the orbs. They're just spheres. if you shine light from one direction, that's why it has that halo on one side. It's just I'm trying to generate a grayscale map of what will eventually become the color armor effect. Yeah. That's just like a fake thermal imaging camera, I guess.
But how did you know that this guy was gonna look like Ashton, in the future?
I did not know that this guy would end up looking like Ashton. Imagine, I haven't spoken to this guy in maybe 2 decades. Imagine if it was Ashton.
Ashton's coming to get you. Okay, yeah. No, yeah, and imagine this guy was apparently this is one of the guy that wrote the letter to Ashton from the Maldives. Did you see that video I tagged you in? The one with Ashton, the letter that he wrote. So he said someone wrote a letter to him about how great he was. But this guy was the one who probably wrote the letter. Okay, so who is this guy? Is this Okay, he killed Ash. Oh, he's dead. Unbelievable. Okay.
So the concept for that video, by the way, the ping pong video, I'll send you the full video if you want.
Oh, okay, yeah. The more
basically like ping pong treated like Fight Club.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah, because it looks like he's dead, and people are saying it's like a prison. If they lose, they get killed.
And this is one of the first jobs I did with the people that now run Chop Shop, like the people that whose channel you're on now, right?
Yeah.
One of the first jobs I ever did with them was this fake advert for what was it? It was for a watch. God, what's the watch company? I don't know. God, hang on, I'll find it, man. But like, basically, we would do these extravagant fake ads. We'd spend our own money on them, right? In order to try and like get like a crazy ad that we could then show to people and then say, hey, look, this is what we could do. You know, they're called like they're called, what are they called? Fuck, I can't remember the name.
Yeah,
They're basically.
But you did send me
like trial runs.
Yeah, trial runs. Yeah, just samples or whatever. Like it's like when you go to Costco, they give you some samples of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
so we would do that, and then it turned out we got the attention of some brands and shit, and we took off.
No, that's great. And I got the document here. So the bait. This is your workflow. So in 2010, unreal. And the movie is 2012. Yeah. So basically, again, this guy is the real deal in terms of video editing and so on, and a stereoscopic effect guru. And apparently the satellite one it was a fake YouTube stereoscopic effect.
Yeah, there is no stereoscopy to the YouTube video of the fucking satellite, bro. It's not even realistic. I wouldn't do that. Like I would even my own lame self who did like the handy cam like thermal camera footage of like the drone, right? Mm-hmm. I still wouldn't stoop to the level of trying to pretend there was a way to do stereoscopic gog and stare footage. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the most silly thing of all of this so far.
Yeah,
the actually go back. Demo real quick so we can kind of watch that contrast there. I can actually point some things
onto that. But someone in the comment, 29,000 tons. Thermite says, appreciate if you could post Joe's YouTube channel link. He does. I'm not sure he has a YouTube channel, but I put the link to that Chop post. So
you can put my own channel in, but I don't have people. I don't put things there.
Oh, so you don't
I only have like private. I use it for like privately checking how things look on YouTube. I don't put stuff.
But I could, I think he wanted this video though, so I just put a link to there. And again, and then Desran, you were
I can show you individual jobs, like if you want, like, hang on.
And there's another thing that you sent here.
This is for my credentials. Is that what it is? Like, do you want me to give you some links to like?
Oh no, I think that person wanted to see that video. I think he wanted to see that video of Ashton playing ping pong ball. I think they wanted.
Oh right. Yeah, okay. I'll try and find it.
No, but I sent him a link to that thing. He was asking me. He was asking me to send him a link. But yeah, so he doesn't have a YouTube channel besides this is a private one that does whatever. And you sent another one here. This SCA Oils Extended 4K, a couple years after MH with similar effects. So you made this in after MH370, and then also Desran, you wanted to go over the clouds. We'll go over that. But I want to play the William part first. So you made this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, again, and these look way cooler than the MH370 ones. I don't know why those are so popular. You know, I don't want to copyright.
I love the smell of new recruits in the morning. Welcome to Octane Island! In my academy, your skills will be put to the ultimate test. If it's got a motor...
Oh, this is your private one.
...goes fast, you're going to master it.
Yeah, that's Danny.
Yeah, okay, now this looks cool. Is there any orbs? Is Ashton in this as well?
No, this is a lot of, like, car action, but, like, what... Just watch when they take off, though.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that video was shot, well, in a couple of locations. The primary one is an abandoned island off of the coast of Japan called, I think, Hashimi Island. Hashimi Island? Am I getting that right? I don't know.
Not sure.
Think
Okay.
Look, if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but I think it's called Hashimi Island, right? And we got kind of very temporary exclusive access to bring helicopters and do footage and stuff in there. Obviously, we couldn't get cars in there, right? So we had to do like a CGI extension of the island that had like a racetrack around it and stuff like that. And then we thought, wouldn't it be fun if we could get like Danny Trejo in it, right? Like Machete. And he agreed.
Okay.
So a couple of my mates went over to America, shot him against green screen, and then we comped him into it. And so between that, we made sort of this spectacular campaign for Super Cheap Auto, which wasn't just that ad, by the way. It was also that ad plus like individual ads for all of the different oils that were featured there. Gulf Western is one on frame there, etc. And multiple smaller commercials and stuff. But we also commissioned Australian rap group Listen Esso to do a cover song of Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival, I think. Commissioned them to do a full song for another campaign. Then we ended up using all of those like assets and shit for a separate oils campaign.
All right.
And releasing a song under the name of Bliss and Esso as part of the campaign. And they also charted with the song, with their cover of the song, right? And there was a whole music video for it as well that we shot at the same time.
I don't know. Yeah, it's epic. It's epic stuff. And then I got the message for the ping pong, the full extended one. So this is Ashton Forbes before he got his current day job, and he had a ponytail.
That's right. Yeah.
So guys, Ashton Forbes is the extended one.
Hey, Pooh.
So it's Ashton Forbes, and there's this Barbie girl.
Hey, Poodle. Now, I know you've got your silly little ping pong match, but you got to be showered, dressed, and ready for Dad's big birthday dinner at 7:45 tonight. Don't be late. Make sure you set your watch. Okay, love you. Bye.
January 14th, my brother's birthday. My birthday's the day after, 15th. January 15th. So my brother's 14, me is 15. Pretty good.
Ready for tonight's match? It's gonna get rough in there.
This is actually a great idea. Anything happened with this or no? Anything?
Oh, yeah, we ended up. Yeah, we got in contact with some brands.
Okay, there's Ashton Forbes right there. Unbelievable. So there's no ball. Unbelievable.
There's no ball, man.
And there's no Ashton. And there's no Ashton either. He's somehow there. Oh, it's Japanese one. I want to upload this and tag Ashton and be like, Ashton, a throwback when you were in like a death match in ping pong.
Right. Yeah, bro, you got the link. You can flip it.
Yeah. Okay, so it's guys. Literally, we have Ashton Forbes playing ping pong, and he's dead.
Wait, no, wait. Pause it.
Yeah.
Pause it. You should have like you should clip it and say we have footage of Ashton Forbes playing ping pong and he's really good, right?
Yeah.
And then he'll probably claim it.
Yeah, he will.
And then we'll show the VFX breakdown after that.
You probably say this is real footage back in the I think the MH370, when they teleported to another dimension, this is what the death matches were. Okay.
Yeah.
No, he will actually say that's him. Okay, and there's that was you, Joe. That was you back then playing against him.
That's me. That's how I looked back then. Yeah. I lost a bit of weight.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, G-Shock. That's right.
No, this is great stuff. Okay, so that's that part. And then okay, so now I want to get into some of the cloud stuff with Desiren, and also but I want to play. Actually, before we play the. Okay, so I have it right here. See the thermal one, and I'm not sure if you've heard Ashton. Now he's talking about manifolds. So I go to Ashton's X account. So now he's saying that those are weird manifolds. So this is where Desran. Let me know. Have you seen this part, Desran? Where's Ashton? Ashton.
Nah.
You haven't heard about You haven't heard about his new claim? He says that it's okay. So he said that some anonymous guy commented on his YouTube video, and then he was using it as a source, and now he's going it's okay. So this guy, the ping pong player, turned okay. So now let's look at what he says now. So going back here, so you see these little random blobs right there?
Yo, remember how I've said the other day that the fucking plane is not showing the proper actual, like, because you see those little bumps on the model, and you can tell where the, like, the thing right there, those where the window ports would be. Now, in an actual thermal image of a plane and shit, bro, that's going to be an actual colder spot than the rest of the plane, because the outside of the glass and shit that they're using is going to be colder, but you're going to be warmer and shit on the inside than the outside of the plane, because you're pressurized and in a warmer environment. You know, they're keeping that plane 60, 70 degrees. So you're in that, like, so I'm just saying somebody saw this and now they're
more or less detailed than that.
He's talking my shit without actually tagging me because he's scared. I promise you. These are all things I've been pointing out.
Yeah, but I just want to read it, and then what do you think about this? So he says, "Holy crap! I think we're seeing the this is Ashton Forbes, Maverick scientist right here. I think we're seeing the atmosphere control distribution manifolds in the thermal. Wow, these are just blobs. These are just random blobs. I don't understand it. Anyways, can someone confirm this? I need a schematic. Yes, David, it's smoke coming out of the AC exhaust ports due to the fire in the forward cargo bay. I've been saying this since October 2023, but never realized we were seeing the manifolds too. And that's because this guy commented here. It says the cabin atmosphere control distribution manifold zones can be seen in the thermal imaging video. The manifold is along the ceiling of the aircraft. The video is real. I think the hotspot on the belly is not a fire, but the AC pack, which is run by engine bleed air, that air is hot. Okay, so can you explain what in the world did I just read? Read right here, Desran. Okay.
So basically what they're trying to say is that they're trying to say that those differences in temperature and shit that we're looking at, those hot spots and stuff, are basically just going. So they're saying we're seeing smoke. They're saying we're seeing smoke come out, which if that is smoke, then we wouldn't be seeing it on a thermal because, you know, depending on what's in the smoke. But there's no, like, so if this is a battery fire and stuff, there are certain hydrocarbons that are being produced in the thermal fire, but we're not necessarily like, we would definitely see this contrail as blazing hot. It's not going to have like those cool patches and stuff that are looking more like a contrail in that sense, you know, like acting like that fluid and shit. Smoke acts like a fluid, which is great in modeling, but like we're not going to see in that thermal image. Do you see like how you're seeing the blue follow behind it just a bit? You're not going to be seeing that. And even on that, like that blue, like behind it, you see that? Like the smoke
blue,
isn't going
green. Yeah, but the question I have is these parts here, like, is this person speaking any sense? Or
and that's what they're saying. What they're basically so what they're basically saying is that what they're basically saying is that's actually playing a part in that, is that those part of that, from what I know on commercial airliners, those are supposed to be kind of controlling what's like how the atmosphere in the plane's handling. So if it's detecting too much carbon dioxide, blah blah blah, it's going to be venting and stuff. And they're saying that we're basically seeing those vents in action because that the that area right there, it's going to probably vent up, in, and out through those areas. So those set dedicated areas. So we should be seeing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, generally, but based on, again, I just see some like random blobs here, and now he's writing a full essay, and then he also is doing this Yahtzee. Yeah, I just want to play this quick. So, oh my God, they're really the atmospheric control manifolds. We can see them through the wall of the plane because of their temperature. OMG.
Boom. Gotcha, bitch. Boom. Gotcha, bitch.
Okay, so like, all right, so I don't know who he's talking to. Anyways, so he's saying that that's the reason for these different blobs there, but isn't like the temperature on the side supposed to be pretty much uniform? Like, is it gonna be that much different? Like, if
it's
if this is minus 40 degrees,
yeah,
so if this is minus 40 degrees, and then like, what would this be relative to this one? I would assume this would all be pretty much really cold. And yeah, so anyways, I'm not fully sure what he's on about. It just seems like some blobs. Anyway, and then the other question is, Joe, were you able to model the manifolds correctly, or what does that even mean? All right.
Well, that would be something internal. That's the point. That's why point though is like we wouldn't. Those manifolds that's a lot of internal and shit. And what we're actually seeing blobs is the window port.
Just so happens you're looking at Australia's first manifold modeling expert here.
Yeah, that is true. Yes, you're an expert. Did you write the manual on this? Yeah. And the other question is there any like actual comparison with a real thermal one, or like I haven't been able to see anything practical. So like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like look up online. Just go ahead and type in IR, right? Just type in infrared.
Plane. I just want to see an IR plane. But the thing is, but like, what about the windows and so on? Wouldn't that be like different temperature? So on, is there anything thermal?
Yeah, that's 100% would be like the windows are going to be a different temperature, and that temperature is going to be more along the lines of well, you're going to see a warm.
Yeah. So here's a real plane. So here's a real plane. Yeah.
Right. I got to drop out just for a second. I'll come right back. My app's fucking up. Like nothing. It's all frozen.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No worries.
I don't know. I don't even know if you can still see or hear me.
I can. You're frozen, but I can hear you. You're just frozen, but I can hear you fine.
I'll come right back.
Yeah. All right. All right. That sounds good. And yeah, Desran. So here's a thermal one. This looks like a plane. And is this a battery fire, or is this just a regular heat signature? And then this one has the doorway, but I want to see the windows.
Like that green uniform and shit, we're not going to just be seeing that, like in the sense of, like the engine should be the only hot spot, and then the rest of it should be a green uniform that we're actually looking at. Sorry about the background noise. Okay. But yeah, so you look at that, and you see, so those spots, those little streaks we're seeing and stuff, those are those vent ports that we're talking about. Yeah. In that sense. Also, that's from the engine. So behind is from where the engines themselves are kind of heating up the underside of that, and then. But
and there's also the windows too. But you see all the black spots on the windows? There's nothing here. Yeah. There's literally no window black spot.
Uniform is we're gonna see we should be seeing the viewports of the plane. Yeah. Quite literally, we should be seeing them as a cold dark spot. So.
And look at this part right here. Look at this dark right here.
They can't all see me. You're about to go to the bathroom.
Okay, so.
All right.
Oh no! Hey.
Please, I can't still see me. That's amazing.
Okay. So he's in the washroom.
Yeah.
Is he going? Okay. Hey, I don't want to show anything there. Okay. Anyways, he's taking trolling to another level. Is it real? Anyways, hide that in. Okay. Anyways, I don't want to get my channel.
It's good that I closed the app, right? So.
All right. So anyways, while he's going off, so again, this looks like a plane. Yeah. So again, about the relative color. So they have the green there for again. I would assume that's 40 degrees. So, but this is not in cruising altitude. This is going up. And yeah. So again, I'm like, I don't. Well, I do understand why he's Ashton Forbes doing this. He's a grifter, but like, how could anyone take him seriously? Or this entire thingy, how could they take all these stuff seriously? Okay, and that brings me, we have to play the video of William. The guy William who do the drawing here, and then Joe put these in.
Yeah.
ChatGPT. Okay, so I want to play the video there. Okay. Okay, you tagged Chrysler. You're more than welcome to join our chat. You guys go easy on this. For anyone involved in project, it would be great to. Is this some animation stuff here? But also the textures.com. So if someone bought it from them, why don't they send the emails out? So it's like they probably don't. Nobody probably bought it that time frame, or they're not allowed to send it. But anyways, I want to go back to the video. I'm gonna go to the X space. We need to play this William one, and then we'll discuss this because I think he fell for some nonsense. This is Whirlpool. This guy's at the 1 hour 11 minute mark. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna close some stuff. Okay, so 1 hour. I'm gonna play. Okay. It's not playing. Okay, it is. Okay, I just wanna. We're gonna play the William rant. Look, yeah. So the X space was 10 hours because Joe fell asleep. And there's a dog. Okay, guys, should we have a brief moment to see pet the dog? And so that's a greyhound. Look at that. Okay, you're muted. Joe's audio is muted.
Oh, is it?
Okay, now it's better. Okay, yeah, Joe's muted. Well, it's good as muted because I think you were taking a whiz live.
Oh, wait. Wait, did you guys see or hear that?
All right. That's all good. Okay, but look at the greyhound. Let's go. What's the greyhound's name? Is it Forbes?
This is
Ashy.
This is Patty.
Patty. Okay.
Man, God, his thing's really worn. I don't know if you can see it, but Prince Patty. Can you see?
Yeah, Prince Patty. All right, that's a good dog. Yeah. I think it's time for a name change. Call him Forbes or Ashton or MH Patty.
I do not want to be that.
Grifter. Call him Grifter. Call him Grifter.
You want to be called Grifter? Grifter?
His eyes are opening up. He wants it. All right.
He likes that, does he?
Yeah.
That's his new racing name is Grifter.
Okay, but so if you're interested in making a fake UFO video, I'll help you like upload it somewhere where it no trace to me, and then I'll tell somebody that's not associated with me to share it on like one of the UFO threads, like on and then once it goes viral, once Ashton Forbes takes it on,
okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, but
I
make
can't
it
tell you
realistic.
when it will be though.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know how long this shit's gonna take. Look, this might take me a full like day or more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I have full-time work. So...
Okay. Well, you could do it in like two portions. Take it like an hour a day for like a few weeks or something, or less than that.
We'll do teasers. I'll try and get out teasers over the next few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, because Ashton, I'll show you his tweet says changed. Okay, so Ashton said that the military Pentagon. Let's see, Pentagon. What is those called? Tic Tac. I think Tic Tac. Tic Tac. I gotta find the footage. Okay, so MH. Basically. Go on.
Go on.
No, I was gonna say Ashton Forbes literally had. There's a tweet where. Do you remember those Tic Tac UFO from the Pentagon? Okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Ashton right here. Yeah, but anyways.
You remember the explanations for those, though, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. It's probably some sort of yeah. I looked a bit of it, but I'm not really interested about that. I'm more interested about what Ashton said. So.
Oh yeah.
So changed universe. Okay. Let's go. Let's see here. I think he said. Okay, yeah, there it is. I got it. Okay, so if you go, so this was those Tic Tac videos, and then Ashton on December 21st, 2020, said these videos changed my entire perspective of the universe.
Oh, bro.
Oh yeah.
No, you're lying. That's not true. Right?
Yeah, he says the entire thing. This was before the MH370 nonsense. So I think he was prepping for it.
Oh, that's when he got the fucking idea.
Well, he had other videos on his Facebook saying he found a UFO and it's just like some random thing, like him taking a video on Facebook. He's like, "Is that a UFO? Is this like a random nothing?"
Well, all I'm saying is, I'm not Batman, but I'm also not. You're not really gonna see me and Ashton in the same room at the same time, so you can't prove that I'm not also completely Ashton.
Oh, that is true. That is true. That is true. Hey,
The voice change.
if I see you playing ping pong at like a Chinese gold medals level, I know you're Ashton. Okay, so
It's the one thing we know about Ashton that is true is he can play ping pong like a motherfucker.
Yeah. All right, he'll play to death. Okay, so now I want to go back to the X1. Okay, where's the X? Okay, so we're on here. I gotta go to the 1 hour 11-minute mark.
Hold on. There would be something that fucking glitches out. That's the algorithm.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know, right?
Okay. Mentioned it. Yeah. Come on.
Okay, now you're asking for people questions.
Do I always sound that drunk? Do I always just sound like that? I think
that's all right. Some people just have that drunk sound. Okay, now we're gonna have William.
I think I just have that anyway. Like I am drunk, but like I think I just have that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So remember when I was talking about my how I take care of my handicapped brother, and it's like it helps like dealing with people. Like this William guy is similar. Sometimes my brother goes into spats where he starts yelling at everybody. So it's kind of like being able to handle such a nutcase. So anyways, so we're going to play right here. William, this is the question that when he was asking. And we'll also go over that because I think he fell for some hoax orb like punching through clouds. Okay, anyways, please.
Can I go, please?
Yes, you can.
I'm sorry about the noise. I'm at work. I just have a real quick question. In the video...
Wait, Joe, you can hear this, Joe? Because you logged in, logged out again. Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Okay, we'll play this. Yep. So this is when William, guys, he's, I think he's on some sort of TRT, testosterone replacement. That's why he might be a bit loud. Let's play this.
One of the orbs dives through the trail coming off of the plane, and you can clearly see the smoke break and form whirlpools. Could you please explain to me the process you went through to create that effect?
Are you talking about the satellite or the thermal video?
The satellite video.
Oh, the satellite. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I didn't go through any process. Like, I'm very sorry to disappoint you on this. I've spoken to people about this before. People think that there is like a smoke displacement or a cloud displacement type effect as an orb goes through there. I'm very sorry to report I did not include anything like that. What you're seeing.
So where does that come from?
I'm about to tell you. What you're seeing is in high compression, when there's lots of jitter in pixels, and when I add noise and like I was just saying to Brett, like the heat haze effect type thing to keep pixels from dying. Get on right? with it, me. When you add details like that,
and he's gonna start yelling soon. Wait.
So
he's gonna start yelling soon. But so somewhat because you were saying it was a compression artifact,
my point, what I was saying was that when you have like detail in noise and you're using a long GOP compression, then it draws trails out from things naturally. Like if you can see that in all like. If anyone knows anything about like video compression, you'll know how like long GOP compression works because they use a certain frame, a P frame, that is a set frame, and then they'll compress by basically saying this frame is like that, but a little bit different in this way, and this next frame is like that one, but a little bit different in that way, right? And so it ends up with like pixel shifts in that direction. That's what I was trying to explain, but I was too drunk to do it at the time.
No, you are right, but the thing is, I think he's either I think he's a bad faith question ask. Like a guy's not actually asking. He knows. Basically, what you're saying is when things are moving, the compression artifact do that. But what he's specifically saying is that the orbs go through. I think he's saying that goes through the trails and or clouds, creating a whirlpool, and. That follows Newtonian mechanics. But if you just see this, there's nothing happening. There's just whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's a slight pixel shift if you zoom in enough.
No, I know, yeah. So, but when you look at it at a first glance with a stereoscopic, there's like it goes through the there's a slight like nothing. There's no whirlpool is what I'm trying to say. and this part, they're not even swirling. It just goes back and forth.
By the way, when he was saying Newtonian physics, I think what he was getting at was like fluid dynamics. Maybe that was the word he was maybe looking for, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. Bless his heart.
Yeah, but basically what he's trying to say is that you were able to model actual physics of like an object going through the contrails and or clouds, but I don't see anything worthy of anything. Like it's literally your explanation. Your explanation.
That's the thing. Yeah. Like that's why you have to zoom in like 120 times, right?
Yeah.
And you get a slight pixel shift that is entirely explainable.
Yeah.
But exactly the thing that I said, which is long GOP compression.
Yeah, or just whatever. Just nothing. Like no explanation is better than that. But I think he's also falling for this one here because Ashton Forbes also fell for it. But he falls for whatever fits the narrative. So, and the reason is this one here. I made a video about it. This is called because there was people playlist. Let's go to the playlist. I'll switch tabs here. So there was Okay, so if I go right here, this one was.
Hold on. Are we skipping past his freak out?
Oh, we'll get to it in a bit, but I want to explain. Okay. The only like thingy that looks beyond and that is just like just simple compression was this quote punch out from the cloud, but this turned out to be a hoax that Ashton fell for. So this right here, if I made a video on this. If I go right here. So this one Ashton Forbes shared. So this one here, first orb punches through the cloud and creates vortex. So I think William was talking about this. This is what I think he was, but he said contrails when he should have been saying cloud. But he mentioned cloud a bit. So this was someone posted this, and then here's can you see this? Go back here. Yeah, can you see the punch out there? There's a punch out. I want to get the links there. Okay. So I'll show you. This is.
Wait, hang. He's looking at like.
No, this is a fake. No, but I'm just trying to say this was a fake video. I just want to go to it. Where did I put it here? Used way back. I think I had all the links here.
It's just a highly processed video that I can see exactly what's happened here.
No, I know, but what I'm trying to say is this isn't in your video. This punch out is not in your video.
No, I know that.
Yeah. See this right here?
That.
This is not in your video because I went and did it manually and I saw there's nothing there because he's saying that it created a vortex whirlpool, but it's just first of all, this also looks like nothing. This is like a blob. So even your explanation would be better, but this is not even in the actual footage. And then
really,
this punch out is not even there. See this hole? It's not in there.
No, I know that. No, I know that one's highly processed.
No, no, that's to show it better, but it's not actually there. So going back here. This is where I wanted to join in the call, but I couldn't talk. So this circle there's not in there actually. That's not in there.
No, okay, but I want to tell you now, right?
Yeah.
Like for me looking at this now, I think there is a level of processing where you could get to what there.
Yeah. But this is not actually in there.
I don't think they. Yeah. No. What I'm saying is, I don't think they've faked it. I think they're.
I think
they're just.
No, this is fake.
So highly.
No, but this one is fake. I actually went
this one is fake.
No, what I'm trying to say is this part right here, that blurred out is actually fake. There's nothing going through. So that's why William was talking about.
I wasn't even paying attention to that.
So when William was talking about it, when he said it was your explanation would be better, but when you actually look at it, that was a person made a fake one on purpose, and his name is Punjabi Batman on Reddit.
I know he's got like Punjabi Batman famously loves tweaking the colors.
Yeah, and the colors change was to show it better. And then someone said, hey, those are actually not there. And I went into the Camtasia, I downloaded it myself, and I show you nothing happens. There's no punch out. Even a compression artifact would be better explanation.
Go through it. Did he really add one?
He faked one, yeah. So if you go in there and I do the same color change or similar, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens. Where's the orb? Well, once I get to it, I'll play my sounds.
Oh, that's amazing.
So nothing actually happens. One? Yeah. So nothing actually happens.
Where's the dot?
So see this one? Yeah, nothing happens. So nothing coming out. There's no hole. There's literally nothing. So I made a video on it. This is where I'm saying like these people, they're not all like just good faith people
That's
getting.
what William was talking about, like like a manufactured. Okay.
Happens.
But even like, hang on, like I'm here to tell you, right? If you had not shown me that Punjabi's like punch through was fake,
it could
that is still perfectly explainable.
Definitely. No, I know you're right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, it totally like, I wouldn't even blink twice at it, right? I'd be like,
definitely.
Sure. Like that can be a compression artifact.
You know.
But he's just gone and added it anyway.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that guy didn't add it, but someone else did.
He saved himself the trouble. He could have saved himself the trouble.
You know, I know, but so then it raises the question, because again, some of the people are bad faith ones or trolling, because like the guy's name is Punjabi Batman that did it, and then Ashton Forbes tweeted him, saying, here's Ashton Forbes tweeted the fake hole and orbs thing. So here's Ashton Forbes. So again, that's what I'm trying to say is, so Ashton Forbes tweets it right here. First orb hole cloud color change version. This is breaking part 2. This was in December 3rd, 2023. And again, he's saying, look at this. How could someone do a punch out in the clouds like that? So anyways, it was a fake one. Even this one is like a non-issue. It could be a compression artifact. But he's sharing one that's faked by a guy named Punjabi Batman on Reddit. And again, I went through it live. Like, I did a recording. Nothing happens. You go download from the original source. There's nothing there. And then I do the high contrast to show it. Nothing happens. Before and after, doesn't matter how you do it.
Guys, let's be real though. We're talking about Ashton Forbes here. Works on the highest level of evidence.
Ashton. So I'm not sure if you've seen this. Ashton Maverick.
The time that he had to pay someone $2,600 for a zip file. For that one.
But he's getting paid more than that. Yeah, I know, but he's getting paid more than that 2,000. What I'm trying to say is, it's all just a giant.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
The time that Ashton paid $2,600
for that
for a zip file.
Yeah, the PDF. But here's
someone fucking scammed him out of.
But here's one of his goons calling him Maverick Physicist. Okay, so again, he has a bunch of titles. On my Telegram, I have like a series on Ashton title. So I have a whole feed on Ashton's titles, what they call him. King Grifter was one of them. There's another one. He was called Maverick Scientist. And then another one is Supreme Scientist. So I don't know if you know John D'Souza, another right-wing guy. Do you know John D'Souza?
I've heard the name. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I think he's another right wing. He called Ashton. He was on Ashton's show, and he called him Supreme Scientist.
Yeah, right. We're grifter, I guess. All right, what next? Russell Brand, I guess.
And then redacted Clay Morris called Ashton a physicist. Okay, here's physicist.
What are we doing? Like get him on Piers Morgan immediately.
I think he will, but yeah, he will be on it probably. Okay, so anyways, I want to go play that rant, and then yeah, Desran, you were saying something?
I'm just saying that I'm the Supreme Kai, and you're to address me as such.
All right, I will do it. You seem like the real deal. All right, Supreme Kai being I will. And
yeah, I mean, I hope some of my knowledge is kind of proven itself. That's why I'm addressing a lot of this and stuff. Is like that's why I'm like this whirlpools he's talking about are vortices. Yeah. They're vortexes, but vortices too. But yeah. So, but anyway, and those are being formed by a little bit of a principle known as streets.
Well, you're like cutting off and then on and off. Every like half a second it cuts off and it's like in mid sentence, mid word. Okay. What was that? Can you try it again? You're saying something about the vortices. Yeah. We'll see. Just continue.
Yeah, I was basically it's a vortex. So when the orbs are going through, so when any object enters another object's slipstream, it basically creates wave turbulence and other shit. But one of those forms of turbulence is called a vortex, and it's like these little swirly patterns that form and stuff. And the bigger the object that's going through it, it's kind of like too big of an object will break in the vortex. You're not really going to see it. It's just going to completely disrupt the slipstream. But an object small enough Like, and that's why I've asked Joe about the object size and shit. It's just because like an object small enough, and that's how we can tell these orbs are actually a pretty small size too, in comparison to the trail, is because like they're sitting in the heat signature of the entire trail. And if you look in that frame, if you actually go to one of the things to where they're sitting in, like I've sent you a picture, I think, and stuff of the heat signature, what it looks like through the heat signature. But basically, like, so that trail isn't going to just be sitting above it corrected and then below it corrected. It's not going to just be fine. Yeah, you see that right there?
Yeah, it's right inside the trail.
Yeah, so that orb is literally yeeting itself through it so fucking fast. It's coming in at such an accelerated velocity.
And nothing happens to it, yeah.
That trail, that trail should be getting pushed down the entire time and stuff.
As it goes there.
And then kind of like, yeah, and in the first place, as the trail begins to meet the object, and that's another way you can tell this is an edited video, is because there is no like in between pixel, like there is no like the orb is above, and then as the orb's entering, it's just the orb is literally above and then in and shit. Yeah, like how it transitions kind of and shit like that frame, like you can tell where he kind of interlopes it and shit to make them look like they're stitched together and shit, to look like it's one fluid movement. But that fluid movement still would be disrupting that contrail. Yeah, right there at the top of your mouse. That would be, so as the object enters, it's going to like start to like, the trail is going to kind of start to hit the orb slipstream itself, and it's going to kind of begin to envelop with it. So like, you know, and then we'd be seeing like a physical, what's called the wake. So like behind the orb itself, I wish we could zoom in, but right behind that orb and shit, like on that left-hand side, you should see this break in the trail itself, because the orb is a physical object in that trail, you know? And even at like 0.5 meters, I think it was, so that's basically not even a full 3 feet, that object should be creating like what, up close, it should be anywhere from like a half a foot itself to like an additional, a couple more. I'll have to relook at the math. Yeah. But if you go to my post, actually, you'll see I can actually address the math a little bit. Actually, let's go to my post so I can kind of talk about that.
But also, I wanted to make a point. Like this again, the same exact color or temperature of these two somehow.
And, and that's what I've told everybody. Yeah.
And there's no punch out. There's no whirlpool. The guy was saying going through here. And the only quote whirlpool was the one punch out of the cloud that's fake, and that even then it looks like a compression artifact, but it's also fake, created by a guy named Punjabi Batman. Anyways, so I'll go to your.
Well, you can tell too. So some people respond to that photo right there and show like the orb kind of as it goes down, that trail goes down with it. But the thing is that's yet again, that would only happen if the orb stayed in this trail, the contrail, and it was able to kind of form back around it, and now the contrail would shift down, but it wouldn't kind of just blatantly form like a pregnant belly facing down and then, you know, burst. It's gonna like kind of be hitting the orb's own the orb's own fucking slipstream itself, and it's gonna kind of more of it's gonna hit and pull, and that's what that vortex is. That vortex is when the objects, the slipstream of the object itself, when they're both interacting and stuff, they're basically, the object is creating that like it's creating a vacuum kind of behind, and that's why I gave that fan example. Is because so anything that's behind it is kind of creating a bit of a vacuum, because you're disrupting the air in front of you, and that means now there's an area behind you of a lower density pressure, and that air gets pulled in and circulates.
No, yeah, definitely. When you actually see actual fluid dynamics, it's completely and utterly different. Let's say fluid flow.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. If fluid dynamics, we can. That'll definitely like.
Yeah, fluid flow plane. I think even what is that called when they have the giant fan? Wind tunnel. Wind tunnels and stuff. Yeah, so wind tunnels are really good, but so fluid dynamics is just the more of like if you've got like a liquid or more of a gas, you know, and then so since our atmosphere is counted as technically both, then you know, and yeah, exactly. See right there, you see that like how on the center, like right off of that object, coming right off of the top of it, from where that very reverse, like that first part of that, yeah, you see, and they're talking about it. You see its point of separation because that's the shape of the object, and as it's, you know, it's got that curve down, that air is gonna flow like off the top harder than what it is the back because it's at that angle. Yeah, definitely. Because the especially satellite one is it's just a backdrop, is a still photo. So it's like, again, I don't know how anyone that's a serious person can look at that video and say that all this physics is happening. This basic physics is not happening, and they expect that like this basic stuff is not happening.
But just so you know, too, Joe, like that's what it would like hell, even if it's a future project or even if you're faking another video to fuck with conspiracy theorists, like that's kind of what it looks like and shit is like that those objects and shit. If it smacks into that because that contrail is an object in its own right and shit. It's just coming off of the plane.
Yeah, and then the orbs.
Physics. Everyone knows this, right? This basic physics ass shit, right?
No, it is. It's basic, and what I mean is like basic physics isn't there, but these guys are jumping into wormholes, and we're gonna play the William rant. I need to play it. It's just it's absolutely like sad. But let's play
and after.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
No, you were gonna
I was
say.
just gonna say after that, I will address a little bit about why the wormholes that they're trying to describe aren't necessarily feasible to how they're trying to describe them, and just
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that. But I want to play the rant, and I'm gonna lower my desk. And yeah, it's been 3 hours, and we'll see how long we go. Let me know how long you guys can go for. And
the algorithm.
I'm gonna play this right here.
That compress it have a tendency to want to.
So again, to re-emphasize, yeah, the algorithm that could that's obviously a plausible reason, but he's actually referring, I'm pretty sure, to a fake hoax video by Punjabi Batman.
Like track objects and like make them sort of like give.
Okay, so here's the way you can make me believe that, because I find that to be a ridiculous and horrible answer. Okay, if you really want to bury the hatchet with MH370, you're going to have to come up with something better than that. But lucky for you, you can prove me wrong. Okay, and here's how you do it. You go whip me up a video with exactly the same effect, with exactly the same kind of thing happening, and show your orb going through something and no effect being added, just what we see in the video. I think that saying that one of these orbs flying through that smoke trail and clearly making it move like smoke is something that you did not add to the video. That's crazy. So hang on, just let me talk, because I'm at work and after this I have to hang up. Okay, so just let me go. Just hang on 2 minutes and you can have the mic back. Okay, so listen, if you want to prove me wrong and you want to prove these videos are wrong, you're a video editor, right? Just go to your computer, whip you up a video that does exactly the same effect and show us how it works in a video. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't believe you, and nobody else is going to believe you until you come up with a better excuse than that. Because that's just as bad as it gets, man. Okay, so I got to go back to work. Great talk. Thanks, guys. Bye.
No, don't just spear, man. I want to answer you, right?
No, I'll be listening. I just can't keep talking. I've got a team to run.
Number one.
Notice a team to run. Okay. Anyways,
someone has already done this. It turned out the exact effect I was describing.
You're not talking about Chrysler, are you?
I don't know.
You're talking about Chrysler, aren't you?
I don't know who that is. Right. Number two.
So you know the person that already did a debunk, but you don't know their name.
No, the debunk is in.
So again, yeah. So Joe Williams, I think a professional like liar.
The way that fucking video compresses, right? And like this is.
Dude, oh my god! Come on, come up with a better excuse. This is just pathetic. I mean, really, the compression rate and blah blah. Dude, I've never seen an effect like that anywhere else, and it lines up perfect with Newtonian physics. Like, what are you talking about? Some magical little thing, little hiccup in the video because two things crossed, and all of a sudden we got Newtonian physics. No, that's not how anything works.
Not that serious.
All right, see. I don't know. I don't see how long he was on. It's pretty funny.
Just take a breath.
Yeah. You're asking to take a breath. Yeah.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Right, you have seen it. I just don't know.
It's you that can't handle the smoke I'm blowing your way because you keep talking over me and you won't let me make my point.
You were talking over him. But at the beginning, I want to play that beginning. I had it muted. I was laughing. When he was saying, it was you did a horrible job. But anyways, I'll play that again once we finish.
Because my point is correct, and I've even given you a way to prove me wrong. Okay, listen, I'm really in a hurry. I'm at work. I can't talk anymore. It's been fun. Hope you prove me wrong. Goodbye. I'll be listening in the background.
Apparently, I'm talking over him and he's in a hurry. Okay. No. So, what happens with compression, right?
I think he comes back later
And
as
this
well.
is an area that
But I want to go back to the very, very beginning when you after you.
Matthew,
Yeah.
just check my DM for a second.
Okay. Okay, and yo, can I invite a workmate up? Okay, yeah, you can. You can use a link. Yeah, what do you? Is he gonna add to it? But yeah, you can invite him. Just invite him and see what happens. Because again, I wanna. It's been 3 hours. Well, I don't wanna go too much longer. But yeah, invite him. I'll get the link again. I think the link was earlier above. How do I check the link? Okay, anyways, we're seeing what's happening, and then 9/11 Visionist says, try to break the 5-hour mark. Okay, anyways, that's a 5-hour record, and I'm not breaking that 5-hour record. All right. Okay, I'm gonna send this to you. This is at 1:40. Okay, you can send him this link.
All right, cool.
Okay, you can send a link there. And does this person know anything? Like, is he related in any way to the MH370? Like.
No, he does. No, he knows about it, but I've just someone I work with.
Okay, but it'll be good to see what his thoughts are, and yeah, basically what you've told him, or what you've told him about this whole scenario.
Yeah, no, I was just chatting with him. I thought it was funny, so I was like, "Hey, man, do you want to come and chat with people?" He was like, "Hell yeah, bro."
Okay. Yeah, we'll tell him to get on, and I want to go back to this. William, let me know when he's on, and if he has issues. I'll go back to this William when he said the beginning.
Like that, and you add compression.
Okay, right here, right?
Because I find that to be.
Okay, it's right here.
The algorithms that compress it.
Listen to what he says, how he says it, and tell me this is not someone doing a performance art, like performance.
Have a tendency to want to track objects and make them sort of give.
Okay, so
okay, there it is. Okay, let me know. Does this sound like someone who's being honest, or someone who's doing a performance right here? Look at the.
Here's the way you can make me believe that.
Actually, I think it's
because
after,
I find that to be a ridiculous.
Yeah. Notice how he says. Notice how he says ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna go back a bit. Okay, we did lose that mark. I'll go back.
I don't believe you. And right, crazy. So hang on, just let me talk because I'm at work video. I think that saying that one of these, you go whip me up a video,
the algorithms that compress
I hate that you can't go.
have a tendency
I can't go
to
a few seconds. I got it.
Type thing to keep pixels from dying.
One second.
When you add give.
Okay, so here's the way you can make me.
Okay, we're gonna play this right here. Put the caption and see what happens.
Believe that. Because I find that to be a ridiculous and horrible answer.
Horrible.
Okay, if you really want to bury the hatchet with MH3.
Okay, so
horrible.
Yeah, he says it's a ridiculous and horrible. That was an exaggeration.
Well, it's not just ridiculous; it's also horrible.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot the part where he's saying that you're like a danger to humanity or something. I want to go to that part because he kept going.
Right, you have seen.
Talk anymore. It's been fun. Hope.
The output of
I don't know. Matt.
Yeah.
1 sec. I don't know the link to send my friend.
I sent you the link. Oh, you can't copy
send it to me.
Oh, you can't copy the link.
I can't copy it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. Oh wait, there. I see it there.
Well.
So could you copy that and then just add a few characters and then paste it?
Okay, I'll add A. I'll add the letter A in front. So just remove the letter A.
Yeah, there you go. All right, sick. Yeah, sick, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
worries. Okay, and then.
Sorry. I know it's a really specific fuck around.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna go and ask this person. And I'm gonna continue with the William. He says that you were a danger to humanity.
Codec that.
William didn't like you. Yeah, William is. I have to block him because you can tell he's working overtime. He's probably using ChatGPT to answer me. It's I tell him go away, clown. He sends a full-on a paragraph. I'm like, I don't care what you're saying. Okay, most likely one of those donators, Ashy, that realized he got conned but don't want to face reality. But again, no, he's ordering. He's doing 0-point energy experiments soon. I think he's definitely part of his Ashton's team. And he says that, hey, he's like, I'm not Ashton. I'm much more powerful than Ashton. And I replied to him. I said, you'll never be the king grifter Ashton is. Anyways, I'm gonna play.
Doesn't exactly store this.
I want to get to
important enough. See, so the
right.
Oh,
or
there
is
it is.
it wrong?
Oh, he's back.
All
He's
right,
back.
Cool.
Guys, William's back. William's back.
It is the important detail.
Actually, does he come
And
before?
that's what happens.
Okay, he'll come back.
And that's what's happening in these stupid videos. So when like these morons see like one of my stupid.
I think that's when you triggered him. I think that's what you got him. Yeah, Joe, you triggered him when you called him a moron. Listen.
Yeah. Hang on. I think my boy's coming up. So just keep a lookout for him to just like let him into the chat, right?
Yeah, I don't see anything. Let's go chat. Is there anything showing up? Joe Lancaster was invited to the meeting. Let me know if he shows up. Again, he can show up with just browser or whatever he's using, and it should work.
Okay.
I don't have anything. I'll let you know when I see anything. But I will play this one. Yeah, so you triggered the William guy when you called him a moron. That's what I realized. What flipped him out. I guess play this right here.
To the base frame, and that's what happens. And that's what's happening in these stupid videos. So when like these morons see like one of my stupid like 3D rendered fucking balls punch through a cloud, and they drag with them a trail.
Yeah, but this part here, there was no actual trail. That's the thing. That's what makes it even worse.
It's not an important detail. So the algorithm just goes, all right, cool. Let's compress
It is
that
the
in."
important detail.
Okay, it's the important, but he's ignoring the part that the clouds are fake and 2D are just like images that never move. Anyways,
It is the detail of details in that video. In that whole
the
video, that is the
algorithm does
one
make moves,
spot
right?
where it proves which way it goes. Is it right or is it wrong? That spot. That spot's where you prove it.
and notice he said that spot, so I'm pretty sure he's talking about the cloud. He's pretty sure talking
This
about.
is where he really starts to get very mad.
Yeah.
Big mad.
And in a good way, that it was good that I was muted, like I couldn't speak, even though since I'm listening, I can't even. I was requesting to talk, but I couldn't do it. But anyways, I would have talked back at him.
Actually, my friend says he's waiting in the lobby.
I don't know how. I don't even know where there's a lobby. There's people here.
Oh shit. Okay. So it doesn't really work that way.
I'll send another link there, maybe. Okay, copied. Try this one.
Use the waiting room. It's really weird, but I was gonna say, so is there any good questions up in chat and shit? Because, I mean, I'm always open for talking about definitely the science to it too. Because like,
yeah, I want to finish the William one, and then I just want to see where he goes, flips off about the cloud stuff. But again, I think he was, and then there's the questions in the chat. There's no real questions. You can see the chat on YouTube. Because you guys realize it's been like 3 hours, over 3 hours. Where's the? I don't even know where the thing is anymore. Where's the YouTube? Okay, yeah, this one right here. This guy says Joe answering calmly made him mad. There's no questions. Because on my channel, most people on my channel know it's all fake. So it's you're kind of preaching to the choir. It's kind of like just and right now it's just Rotary Matrix and 29,000 tons thermite. There's no other questions. It's been we have 19 people on YouTube. I don't know how much on the other place, but I do want Okay, so I send you a new link. Joe. I put an A in front. I just copied. Maybe that works. It worked last time.
I sent it to him. Still not working, but all good, bro.
Okay. But I'm gonna finish the video and then get to some closing thoughts, and also if Desran has any other points that he wants to make, and also I think you had a post that you made. But I want to continue with William going nuts.
Yeah, but algorithms don't care about what details are important. They're just talking about.
Then recreate it. If it's the algorithm, you should be easily able to recreate it.
Yeah, and like it has been, like I've just told you, right? Like so, literally any movie you've ever watched will have those same artifacts. That's how it works.
Dude, you're seriously telling me it's been debunked because of movies? Because of movies? That's why it's been debunked?
No, I don't care if it's been debunked, right? Like I'm telling you how it works.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. Okay?
No,
There's
I
a
don't
way
think you're
for you to
understanding.
easily disprove the videos. Recreate that effect. If
I'm
it's so easy, you should be able to do it. And don't give me this answer of, oh, well, it's in all the movies. It doesn't matter. It's not that big a detail. It's the detail.
But we have done that, right? And it's the same effect.
So that's your only answer. It's debunked because movies.
Well, it's the same effect. I've explained exactly what the effect is, right? And it has like everyone who's tried to debunk it, everyone who's tried to
But you
prove it
haven't.
right,
You've said a bunch of gibberish
come up
about
with
compression
the
and this and that.
exact
A bunch of
same-
stuff you don't actually know about. You're guessing. You're saying, oh, the algorithm did it. Okay, how's the algorithm work? You don't know how the algorithm works. Apparently, you don't know how Newtonian physics works either, because an orb doesn't just go through smoke and then boom, automatically Newtonian physics pops out.
Hold on. What about the algorithm do you not think I know about? Because this is an area that I am actually an
Apparently
expert.
compression.
I've helped people
Physics
develop
pops out.
algorithms for compression and decompression.
Okay, so why can't you answer this question? It's
did it.
not just some compression made Newtonian physics pop out. That's not how anything works. It blows around like real smoke. That's not some compression artifact.
What are you
Okay?
talking about what do you mean Newtonian physics? Where are you getting
Okay,
this?
let's say I blow a cloud of smoke, right? And then I throw a ball through it. The smoke reacts a certain way in accordance with Newtonian physics. F equals ma. This is easy.
Hang on, hold on. What do you think Newtonian physics is? Let's just go back to basics here, bro.
Dude,
because
if you
I
want to
think
know,
you're crazy.
look, I'm
I
not
think
going to give
you're
you a science
crazy,
lesson.
bro.
It's not my job to be your science teacher, okay? The ball goes
Oh,
through
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
smoke,
hold
and
on,
the
hold on,
smoke
hold on.
reacts like
Wait a minute.
smoke.
Wait a minute. First off, if we're talking about these orbs to begin with, that's not Newtonian physics.
Yeah,
I need to just
Yes,
I need
it
to make
is.
that very clear.
Only
No,
one thing
it's
moves
not.
like that. It's
No,
magnetism.
it's not.
I've written 100 fucking
No,
papers on it.
no. And then
No, you
like,
haven't, William.
oh my gosh.
William, come on, bro. You haven't written papers.
This isn't
on-
come on, bro. 200 people
No,
died.
come
There were fucking 3
Dog.
Americans on that flight, and you don't
Dog,
give a shit. You want to
hold
come out
on,
here
you
and
just-
act like it's fake,
Hang
and that,
on,
oh, the
hold
movies
on.
prove it wrong.
You
You're so
just came
fucking
up
full
here.
of shit. You're just a CIA spook acting like you fucking know what's
just-
going
Oh
on.
my
You know
God.
science and
Hold on,
physics
William.
and fucking
William,
everything. You're
calm
an
down,
idiot.
bro.
You don't
Bro,
do goddamn
bro.
anything. You're fucking
You just
everything up
came up
for
here
everyone.
and
Get it
tried
through
to
your
tell
fucking
people
head.
that you had written papers on physics. Come on.
Yeah, why don't you
man.
go
What are you
fucking read
doing?
one or two, you goddamn
You
moron?
You haven't done that, obviously. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
There's one sitting in your comments right now.
Yeah, okay, alright. Have a good night, bro.
Imagine.
Oh, you
Outsider just like
can't handle it. So now
like-
you want me?
I think Ward Wilson's in the show. Joe, your friend's in it, I think. Oh, Ward Anderson.
Oh yeah, Ward, that's one of
Wilson?
my buddies.
No, not Wilson.
No, Anderson, Ward Anderson.
Yeah.
All right. So hi, Ward. So your friend Joe is apparently a celebrity movie maker, CIA agent, apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I've known her for like 20 years almost. I mean, like everything you said is true. Like, what are we disputing?
Okay. Yeah, that's. So, anyways, were you also involved in the MH370 videos? Yeah, but yeah.
To an extent, like I definitely had like really intimate conversations with Joe about these things, but I wasn't involved in like the investigative side of things. It was just more of an advisory role.
Okay. And so did you guys actually teleport the thing? Are you connected to the Maldives, the military base there in any way?
So that's a bit of a dicey subject. Like we've definitely had like really in-depth conversations about that. The evidence that I've seen is a little 50-50. I can't like definitively answer that question right now. To be fair, I've been drinking, so
okay.
I just want to get on here to like defend my Aussie brother Joe. Like I've known him for 20 years. He's my son's godfather.
Good
so
boy.
Okay, nice.
Man,
Okay, no, epic.
Yeah.
And
It's a deep stated.
Yeah.
Come on.
So have you guys?
He has nothing to do. He has nothing to do with the MH370 videos. That was all me. But he is my boy, and he does know how good a dick I suck, right?
Okay, wait. We wanna we wanna keep this on the.
No, we're just spearing that.
Huh? Anyways, we are. I think we're getting close to the ending time. But anyways, yeah. So, well, anyways, we'll keep it PG, guys. YouTube will do its thing. But yeah. So.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I forgot where I was.
Yeah.
We're past the first 10 minutes. So a lot of the cussing and other stuff isn't grabbed by the algorithm, but certain things like audio, certain times audio is. But a lot of cussing isn't, since you shouldn't be marking this for kids. So we're kind of lucky there, but
it's all right. This is just a one-off thing. But yeah, so anyways, if Ward, you want to introduce yourself, and also let's do some real talk. So how like this whole situation? Have you looked into this, or just from what Joe was saying, like this whole Ashton Forbes and MH370 and so on? I just want to get your thoughts on it.
I know that like Forbes, he definitely fabricated whatever video he was working on. I mean, it was definitely special effects. Like from what I've seen and what like my team has seen, it's all been just complete nonsense. So, in understanding like what Joe does for a living and what I do for a living, and being able to research and like analyze whatever videos we've seen. I mean, whatever he put out there was a fabricate. I mean, it's a clear and like just egregious fabricate of what the reality truly is. And whatever Joe had put out, like it was gone past me, my advisors, my team, and his people too. Like everyone in Australia, he's got a really good team in Australia. So, when I flew out to meet Joe in Australia, we definitely went through like frame by frame and made sure everything was legit. And yeah, I mean, it's anyone that's believing the other side of the story is like, I mean, they really need to look into the facts and like actually study that video more closely.
Yeah. So you weren't involved in the video making though.
No,
I
I'm
really
not.
appreciate that, because like that means a lot to me, because like I've worked with Ward for a little while now, and he's one of the most solid people in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So again, yeah. So Ward, yeah. So you're saying that Joe made the videos. He's not lying or anything. This is legit and everything. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
No, I've known Joe for like 20 years. Like I've been in Australia a few times. We've had a few pints together. We've definitely strategized together on like business projects and things like that. And I really have no reason to not believe what he's doing, because my integrity as a Black American, I'm not going to trust some fucking white Aussie and what he's saying, right? So like given who he is as a person and like what I've seen of his work and what I've seen of his integrity and like how he treats my kids, like he's definitely a stand-up man in the community. So I have no reason to think that he's like making up any kind of anything.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Of course.
But
yeah, brother.
Yeah.
That's
I think Joe might have to be fake though, because if you think about it, how the hell did Ward go to Australia? That place is made up. That place sunk years ago. Don't you know, from all the fucking sea creatures and.
Wait, you think Australia's made up?
You think Australia's fake? Ohio's fake too. Yeah.
Ohio's not a real fucking place. What are you talking about?
I agree.
I know Ohio isn't a real place, but Australia is. I'm right here.
I understand. Yeah.
You're
right.
I'm in Canada. That's like the fakest place.
Canada's not real either. No, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Antarctica's not real either.
Yeah, and the other question is, Ward, you said you know him for 20 years. Did he ever talk to you about the project that he was working on in 2014, or like mention that?
2014. No, I don't think so. Like I was in 2014. I was in Japan.
I think.
Oh, which one was this?
Bait, maybe.
Bait, the movie Bait.
The Bait movie? No, I wasn't involved with that. I was on a special project.
You're done with Bait. 2012 was Bait. 2014.
32, Joe? Aren't you 32, Joe?
No, he's 39. He was 39 last year.
39, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 39. Okay, is Matthew 32?
No, I'm.
Do I look mad younger than I should be?
No, I'm 37. 37.
40.
I don't know. Then we're
Come on, give me some love. Give me some sugar.
He looks good for a white boy. I mean, like, come on.
Don't I look good for a white boy?
Yeah. Yes. So we have.
How about my dog? Does he look good for a black boy?
All right, let's go.
Here he is.
No, we have a pretty. We have a diverse stream right now. We have white Australian. We have black guy, also Australian, and.
Oh, I'm not Australian. No, the dog's Australian.
Okay.
Not me.
Oh, there's a black dog. There's a black dog and a black dog. just joking.
Black dogs are oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Free Huey Newton.
Okay. But yeah, so basically, yeah, you're getting your word for it. So Joe is, he's just telling you as it is, and yeah. So
yeah, so like my relationship with Joe is like we've known each other on social media for 20 years. I'm 41 years old as in August. Like we've ebbed and flowed through any type of project he's done. There have been some that I've missed because like I was either in Japan or like I was in Mexico or Colombia or whatever the case may be, where I just wasn't on the project. But when it came to like really special projects that he needed like some expert opinions on, he pulled me in and he chased me around. Like it would take months or years, whatever the case may be, to get me in there as like his trusted advisor. Where I would actually come to Australia and we'd meet up and we'd have some beers, of course, because you're in Australia, and we would talk about it. But like me being an IT person of integrity, I would never put my name behind something that I don't believe in, because of like what I do for a living. So like I just. I'm trying to understand like why people are trying to slander Joe's name and what he does, because like he's a very talented individual that has like a deep repertoire of his works. So I'm just trying to understand, like I want to get an understanding of like where we are as a people. I joined this call late. I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get in the mix.
Yeah, well, I think a bit of it was Joe's doing, trolling, but most of it is. Yeah.
Part of it was my doing.
Yeah.
I trolled a little bit too close to the sun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then...
look. Here's the thing, right? I did tell people early on that it wasn't me that made the videos, and I wanted to keep that kind of a thing as long as I could, but I did make the video, and then eventually I started having to keep up with my own lies, with talking to like textures.com and shit, because I had already told them that it wasn't me and stuff, so I had to keep like I don't know, it became a whole mess, but whatever. I was having fun with it.
Yeah.
But here I am.
Yeah, so I was gonna say part of it is his doing, and then the other part was Ashton Forbes is.
And I got my boy here.
Yeah.
I got my boy Ward.
Yeah.
He's been my homie for a little while now.
Yeah. No, sounds good. Yeah, so and the other doing, so basically part of it doing all this slander was Joe's doing, and then the majority of it is Ashton Forbes, who has like a giant following and. Definitely a giant team behind him, just pushing as if the videos are teleportation and so on. And have you seen the full videos, Ward, or no?
No, I have not yet.
Okay,
Joe has shared them, but I just have not had the time to watch them. I just changed positions, so.
Okay, well we'll play this and let me know your thoughts. I want to play this quickly, and again, it's 3.5 hours. I'm gonna end it in like a few minutes, so I'm gonna give you guys a heads up.
I don't have 3.5 hours, bro. Like, okay.
No, I'm gonna the stream was 3.5 hours. I'm gonna end it. It's supposed to end at 3 hours, but maximum. And I'm gonna go. I'll play the videos.
Hold on, just before we do, I just wanted to make sure that my homie is in the most uncomfortable possible position.
Yeah. So here's the two videos, and let me know if this is a wormhole that's teleporting the MH370 videos and so on. We'll play this.
Okay.
So and
no, he's doing his best. He's doing his best.
So you have never seen these before. This is only played until it turns black. So this is apparently stereoscopic. Apparently, I'm just gonna play. I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm just gonna play this, and I'm not even explaining it. You just tell me what happens, or you just tell me what you think this is. Okay. So this is apparently MH370 video leaked.
Right.
In 2014. And then nobody made a big fuss about it until Ashton Forbes a few years ago.
Yeah.
Remember, this 2014 video leaked in 2014. In 2014, so it's like nothing's recent. Okay. And then see those orbs or whatever around them.
Right.
And then
I mean, those are. I mean, to track something like that, it's got to be within an application.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is that, or is it a wormhole using anti-gravity? Oh, it's gone. Is that possible?
But if it was a wormhole, it would have disappeared earlier.
Well, it disappeared, and now the person's looking around like, where is it? Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if
that was one video. Here's second video.
Like where's that vantage point from?
That's up to you to decide. Basically, you just tell me.
Well, no, it's not up to me to decide. Like, I need to understand like what the vantage point is. Is it above the plane or is it below the plane?
Oh, no, that's you. That leaked footage doesn't explain what it is. You're the one who's supposed to give it lore.
Herein lies the issue, right? So it's like if it's up to my interpretation, I could say it's from like space, and if it's from space, if it's from a vertical view, it makes a different story because the plane is now under the clouds. But if it's from a bottom view from Earth, it's under the clouds. So, I mean, like, you know, saying that evidence is subjective to the person.
No, but I'm saying that we're not given. No, I'm trying to say.
He's got a good point.
No, he has a good point, but we're not given that. Is what I'm trying to say. We're not given that. Basically telling you, is it anti-gravity or is it a fake video?
Well, I mean, you can't determine
Well, it
either
might be
because
anti-gravity.
Yeah.
There's no objective.
You only have two choices: anti-gravity.
No, you have no choices because it's so. No. But here's the thing: from a logical perspective, like given my position as an IT person, is that you only have a logical perspective, right? So if you have evidence that's not objective, it's subjective, it doesn't make any sense, right? So like, if I don't know the vantage point of whatever this video is coming from, I cannot make a logical conclusion as to what the event is. So if you want to say it's a wormhole,
is it a wormhole?
Right. If it's a video from outer space, if it's from like the International Space Station, and you're saying it's a wormhole, yeah, that fucking bullshit. That's After Effects. Like there's no shot that that's real.
Okay. What about this one here? This is the infrared allegedly. So you work in IT? Yeah. The person was asking, and then. Okay.
So before hearing too long and stuff, because my wife's cooking, or I mean, I'll stay on, I'll just pop in and out. But just to kind of give you guys, I was gonna say the thing about wormholes and shit, ironically is let me put it this way: so supermassive black holes and shit, the largest engine in the motherfucking universe, you know, entire galaxies wide, type shit. These motherfuckers aren't even part space and creating secondary. So look, you see that little illustration right here, guys? The bitch about it is if a massive black hole, and that's why one of my, like, how I discuss in certain things, like a wormhole is formed by the bending of space, but space isn't just fabric like people think and shit. It's a particle and stuff, and the problem is the local space around attempts to.
I didn't know this was going to be a physics thing.
Well,
I can tell you about that. I can tell you about that structure, but like we're gonna have to go into the physics of it.
Yeah, I don't have a PhD in physics. My CIA homie does.
Okay.
But like my question to you, Desi, is that like, has this theory been proven in reality?
No, this is hypothetical.
So the math,
right, it's a hypothetical.
It is, but only to an extent. The warp fields still work, guys. I mean, but the problem,
like, hypothetical is the extent. Like, there is nothing past the hypothetical. You go hypothetical theory and then reality.
That don't count.
Yeah,
theory, so that,
but we're arguing on different points here. Yeah, go on.
So that theory is based off of Einstein's general relativity and stuff. So based on general relativity, which continues to be proven over and over again, what's called an Einstein-Rosenberg wormhole should be possible. But what Einstein didn't understand, and that I've basically postulated, and I've tried to have been, at first it was made fun of in the scientific community, but we're slowly coming to terms with the fact that the aether in a sense is real, but not how you guys think. So space is more like a particle and a wave. The wave function is time, and the particle is space.
Sure, I understand that.
Has anyone ever considered the existence of an Einstein? Yeah, she might be into it, but she's like pretty unsure about the repercussions.
And I think, like, just as a more specific to this conversation point, like we saw this like red black hole thing show up in this thermal imaging here.
Yeah.
Which is cute, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it in Marvel movies or whatever the fuck. But what I'm trying to understand is that since wormhole is a theory, or a hypothesis, really. It's not even a theory at this point. Is there an actual, something that's been in practice that has actually shown a wormhole in real life?
All right, so yes and no. So yes, we can.
Yes and no means it's still a theory.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out where the exit to the wormhole is. So, if you could just direct me.
Hold on.
That'd be great.
I can't technically. Let's say I do know about that. Let's also say I do know about that. I can't confirm to you whether I've personally ever seen it. You've got to understand. There's a reason I'm anonymous.
That's the whole point of an Einstein-Rosen bridge. No one ever seen that shit.
Yeah,
right?
it's Schrodinger's.
No one ever seen it. No one ever seen nothing here. No one ever seen nothing here.
You know why you can't form it though? Is because the local space basically attempts to correct it. Nature abhors a vacuum, even in the fourth dimension.
Don't tell me about my vacuum, Dick. Don't tell me about my vacuum, Dick. Come on.
Okay.
There's no nature in space. Space is a vacuum. Nature exists on planets that have inhabitants.
Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to head out, guys. It's been quite a journey here. Oh, but I want to show you quickly here. When I made the stream, I tagged the people here. I tagged Joe to join it, Baker Tuts, Ashton Forbes, Textures, Jimmy Dore, Elon Musk, and real Donald Trump. And then
yeah, tag me too at CIA.
Oh yeah. So here's I made this one with AI.
I gotta say I'm very sorry to my friend Ward, who is my friend in fact, but he has to keep his shit together for this whole debacle.
Yeah, tag me next time at CIA.
Yeah, so here's Elon Musk and Trump. They were supposed to show up, and this is Ashton Forbes. And then my brother, he has a VO.
But you believe in these crackers, like for real?
No, this is AI.
Oh, dead ass. Wait, hold on. Matt,
what?
You or
hey, bro, let me know when you ever want me back, right?
Wait, you dead ass believe in these crackers? They're gonna be like the fucking the saviors of civilization.
No, this was a joke. This is to try to see if they're joining the stream today.
but like to be fair, like you don't believe in these crackers.
No. Everything, bro. I don't care.
No. I think they're a bunch of they're
you look of color like me. We can't be.
No. It's a joke. I'm also actually I'm in Canada, but I was born in Iraq. No, it's U.S. pretty much did genocide in Iraq. That's it's a no-go.
Yeah,
zone.
I don't fuck with America, man. Like I was born here, but fuck America. You know what I'm saying? We outside.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of you probably don't realize the genocide that's going on in Australia right now.
Yeah, the white genocide.
I thought
it was Greyhound. Anyways, and then going back here, so
a lot of white people being genocided right now because we can't go out in the sun because we get sunburned.
Oh wow.
Good.
Ward, what are you guys doing? I thought it was only in South Africa. Now we got Australia.
No, we love a white genocide.
We get sunburned. What do you want to call it? Like we get sunburned, so we can't. We're not allowed.
But anyways, guys, so
stop posting AI bullshit.
Okay, guys, we're going out of. I'm gonna head out in a bit, but I just want to make a point here. My brother has a Google VO3, but they won't let real people. I wanted to make a preview of Trump.
Never look up the difference. Never look up the connection between Queensland, Australia, and South Africa apartheid.
Yeah, the emus were fucking. They were rough.
Is it true the kangaroos run the show? Is that true, or is it dingoes?
No, you're missing it. The South African apartheid got some of the idea for doing the apartheid from Queensland, Australia.
Yep. And then you know where Hitler got his ideas from for Nazi Germany?
Okay.
Yeah, from
Jim Crow America.
Oh, really? I thought it was from like MH370 videos he found online or something. Anyways.
No, MH370 didn't exist because they didn't have fucking airplanes back then.
Okay.
And they did, but they didn't have.
No, you're right. Queensland, the model for apartheid. Okay, interesting. Yes, you're right about this.
Tell you what, if my mate doesn't come up here right now, I might just fucking the whole
jump.
Well, guys, I'm going to end, but you guys can still chat if you want to talk. I'm just going to close the stream. I'm going to head out, guys.
I'm going to kill myself.
Hey, guys. Anyways,
yeah.
And this video, I'm gonna tag Ashton Forbes, the one him playing ping pong. So there's Ashton Forbes playing ping pong to the death.
Yeah, Ashton Forbes can suck my dick from the back.
Okay. Anyways, guys, I don't want to get my freak out. It's on YouTube, guys. I don't want to get censored.
No, but literally,
Fuck that guy. He can suck my dick.
Guys, he may. So
he loves
you can. So
okay, anyways, guys, I'm ending the stream in 3, 2, 1, guys. Anyways, have a good one.
How would you know if he even agreed to it? Because like he would agree to that anyway. Because,
Guys,
like,
anyways, any closing thoughts to the audience? I'm saying have a good day, guys. Thanks for joining. Good
Yeah, I
weekend.
got closing thoughts. Free Palestine. Fuck America. Viva Cuba.
Okay,
Viva
guys.
Fidel.
We have a pro-white genocide person here. Anyways, guys. It's
pro-white genocide.
Anyways, guys, ending the stream in 3, 2, 1.
Kill all the crackers.
What's going on?
Fuck them.